الحدث اللي اليوم مجتمعين علشانه وايد مهم، وقاعد اخبركم انه صار جاهز.
جهز جهز، تعالوا جهز.
جهز جهز،
تعالوا جهز.
ابوي انزل والمبنى جهز. المبنى جهز. تعالوا يا شباب. جهز.
يلا يلا كابتن،
يلا وراكم وراكم، جايين توكلوا على الله.
ما شاء الله المبنى حلو، المبنى جميل.
Very nice video of the Fujairah Global Chess Championship, and before the games start, because we don't yet have the moves in, we see that the players are on the board, but some players are not arriving. I just want to ask you, Viral, a couple of questions, because yesterday was the round number 1. Probably you were watching it. What were your impressions?
Well, the tournament is so strong. I mean, you can even predict the winner. And you cannot even predict the winner on any, let's say, particular game. So, like, so many upsets, but you cannot really call it upsets because the players are, let's say, I would say the same level, they are very similar levels. So, for instance, on board 1, yeah, I mean, okay, 𝐤𝐸𝐤𝐡 is very well-known grandmasters, but all the others, they are progressing so fast. Because nowadays they are 2.5 or 2.550. I mean, next year they could be, let's say, in top 10 or top 20 of the world. And yeah, I mean, even let's say on the last board, I mean, the woman grandmaster from China just outplayed very experienced grandmaster from Ukraine, 𝐒𝐸𝐤𝐸 Kazubov. So
she's not playing the last board anymore. She's, by the way, she was put up because she's with half a point and she's going to play, with a 1 point, and she's going to play with a player with a half a point. So it will be Chinese match on board number 7.
Wow.
Zhu Junaid will face Lu Shanlei. Lu Shanlei, by the way, he skipped the first round for some reason, but he got half a point by. So for that reason, he has half a point, and she was just put up to play against them. Only 2 Chinese players in the field, by the way, in the Superstars tournament, they're facing each other. But yeah, I think while 𝐒𝐸𝐤𝐸 is waiting for the opponent, let's maybe go to the board number 2 to see if the players are there and if the moves are incoming.
we have here 2 American grandmasters, Mishra and Hong Andrew.
So it's board number 3.
They are facing each other. Board number 2 we have Chaparinov and Muradli. Well, Chaparinov is a very well-known grandmaster, former coach and second of Vasilin Topalov, world champion. And Muradli is a young grandmaster from Azerbaijan. I mean, progressing very fast. I mean, really hard to predict. I don't know, Angelica, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, it's very tough to say because we have most of the players, boards 2 and 3. So most of the players have not faced against each other, but Chaparinov played against Muradli and they didn't have any single classical game, but they played in the World Rapid and Blitz Championships last year, so basically the previous years. It was 2024, 23 and 21. And it was Chaparinov who won in closed Catalan back in 2021. But last year in New York, it was Muradli who won, so maybe he will take over, so we don't know. But he's also not there. He's not at the board. It's very interesting.
Yeah, by the way, we have here, let's say, clashes of generations. Let's say on board 1, 𝐒𝐸𝐤𝐸, very experienced grandmaster, plays with young Jacobson Brandon. Same on board 2. Chaparinov is, okay, I can say my generation, plays with Muradli. And on board 3, okay, Mishra is the youngest grandmaster in the world. played the pawn. And
Chaperina
yeah,
played the move.
Chaperina played the move c4, so waiting for his opponent.
And there can be anything after c4. It can be English. It can also transpose to Catalan. Who knows?
Yeah, also to Queen's Gambit. Let's say if let's say e6 and d5. Okay, white to decide, to play the Catalan or to play the classical Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, so I suggest while we have these boards with no moves yet, let's go maybe to the move number 3, as you were saying, the clash of the American players, Abhimanyu Mishra, the youngest grandmaster in the history of chess, against Andrew Hong, who is also improving rapidly.
Yeah, so we have the move e4, and once again, same situation. What is my opponent? He's looking right, left. Okay. Now we have the handshake, and
Andrew is at the board. It's interesting. You have top 3 boards, and then no players over there. But definitely. We see e4 was played. By the way, Abhimanyu Mishra was yesterday here, guest in the studio. He won the first round against Kasper Perun. He was showing his game, and he was also mentioning that he really enjoys such a strong tournament, because usually you're playing normal open first few rounds. He was mentioning, okay, they're easy. You're just winning one by one. And then only from round 4 you start to think, you start to play against stronger opponents. Here everything starts from round number 1. So
this basically is like, let's say, an elite open tournament, So your average probably will be like around 2-6. I mean, so it's hardly we can call it open tournament. I don't even remember such a strong tournament. Okay, maybe Sharjah Masters, maybe back in times like first Association of Grandmasters tournament in 1989, I think. So probably this is one of the strongest open tournament ever, and only 42 participants, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and look at the c6 is on the board, so we are having Caro-Kann. Interesting choice.
You call it interesting, Caro-Kann defense.
Because we have seen yesterday a lot of e4, e5 for Sicilians, and Caro-Kann. Yeah,
Caro-Kann is a very solid option. I mean, it's hardly can be a surprise nowadays. But actually, I'm surprised by Mishra's choice, because we are using. I mean, let's say most common is the advanced variation. Let's say e4. I mean d4, d5, and e5. Yeah.
Of course, you're grabbing a lot of space. This is also what computers love a lot. Space
exactly. And let's say the knight c3 classical line is, well, I would not say that it's kind of disappearing from the practice, but it's very rare nowadays. So knight takes, and knight f6 probably, this is...
the main line. And here, knight f6 is the main move?
Yeah, I mean, no other move here, So knight f6, and usually black takes with pawn e.
Yeah, I used to play, and the knight takes on f6 happened just now on the board. I used to play Caro-Kann, so I also play this knight f6 line.
And e takes f6. Okay, I mean, I know some players, even at grandmasters level, they are taking with g pawn, but this is so rare.
Yeah, and also Andrew took with the e pawn. It makes a lot of sense. You're opening the bishop, you're getting ready to finish the development. Can you say there is some slight advantage for white, considering the pawn structured there at 4 against 3 on the queen side?
Well, if let's say we just trade all the pieces and we play the king versus king endgame, of course white is winning. But I mean, we are far from this scenario. So let's say one of the classical games that comes to my mind is the game of Karpov with Korchnoi from their match 1978 or 79? 78. 1978, and Korchnoi outplayed with black pieces Karpov. Okay, at the end it was a draw, but he got an advantage. So it's not easy to play, because black is controlling many squares in the center, square d5, square e5. Black can try to push his pawns on the king side. Yeah, with bishop d6, h5. Quite often we see this idea.
Yeah, we have c3, bishop d6 on the board. So
usually white develops with bishop on d3, knight on e2, queen on c2. This is the setup, and then you choose, yeah, to castle short or to castle long.
Okay, King F8.
King F8
It was not played. It was a castle.
Yeah.
It would be surprising.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we see also on the camera the castle was played. Sometimes DGT is, yeah. When the players are not playing moves accurately, sometimes we see such things. But yeah, castle is on the board, and now...
Probably knight e2, but Misha is still thinking. Okay, I mean, I can show you here one of the, let's say, my idea, I mean, which is not probably good. So knight e2, how do they play? Black plays rook e8, queen c2, and h5.
h5. I think that's what I was playing.
Yes.
H5.
Bishop e3 and knight d7. This is like the main theoretical position, and something like, I would say, let's say 5-6 years ago, I found a very interesting novelty. By the way, Angelica, maybe you can use it as white. The move g4 here.
Oh.
Did you know this move?
No, but I was playing with white. With black.
With black. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
imagine your opponent plays here g4. The idea is actually very simple. You play the same as Benko, like take on g4 and h3. Yeah.
Just take and sink.
Yeah.
later.
Cost of the pawn. You open the files, and then you castle long, and then you have this attack. By the way, it's not a very bad idea. I mean, it's playable, despite of, let's say, computer's evaluation. Okay, because when your king is in danger, yeah, you don't really... I mean, it's not easy to play. It's from practical point of view, I believe this is playable. Okay, so we have the position. This is the current position, yeah?
Yeah, so Abhimanyu is still taking time in this position, considering to develop the knight or not, and probably it's a good moment for us to go to the next board. Or he actually just made a decision. Okay,
yeah, knight e2, rook e8, queen c2, h5, and then
this is what we expect. So probably let's go to the board number 1, because now the players arrived finally, and we have the moves on the board. As we can see, d4, knight f6, c4,
c6, yeah.
So some delayed Slav, or?
Well, no, yes, actually, it's transposing to Slav defense. Sometimes Black uses this move order. I mean, and here, okay, if knight c3, c5, here, as I know, I mean, at the big level, let's say, the elite level, they are playing here the move bishop f4. Well, honestly, I don't know exactly what is the, let's say, the finesse or the importance of this move order. And after d5, they are playing e3. Well, and delays the move knight c3 for some reason.
So maybe not to include a4?
Yeah, actually white avoids the variation with d takes c4 in many lines. Okay, so this is like, but of course you can play knight c3, d5, and we just transposition to Slav defense.
Yeah, so we have c6 played last, most likely knight c3 will be the move, but yeah, bishop f4 is also possible. Yeah, both of these players, as you were mentioning earlier, is like a clash. What we have here, Jacobson yesterday, he won very beautifully the game against Nicolas Teodoro. Like he outplayed him in the, it was already closer to the end game. But yeah, very nice game, because also Nicolas Teodoro recently is playing very strong, so many strong events, and he was at the peak. So Jacobson really is doing great. Well, Sugiro, by the way, who did Sugiro win against? I'm just checking. He played against, by the way, strong grandmaster from Hungary, Adam Kozak.
Yeah.
Young grandmaster, and also very strong.
Actually, it was a very interesting game. I made my own analysis, and at some point, the Hungarian grandmaster missed a very beautiful win with like sacrificing a rook with check. Maybe we can show this moment because it was really amazing. Probably one of the most, let's say, beautiful combination I've ever seen. But he missed this moment and lost.
Yeah, probably first we make a short overview of the top boards, and then we have time.
So where do we go next?
Probably board 2, right?
Yeah, let's go to board 2.
Because we also were missing Muradli at the board. Chaparino was there, ready to play, but Muradli came a bit later to the board.
So it was classical English opening, symmetrical, knight f3.
And here no knight f6, but d6.
Yeah, castles. And Black is thinking, yeah? Okay, there are so many setups for black. Like for instance, e6, knight e7, e5, knight e7, knight f6. Sometimes even black takes, bishop takes c3. Okay, this is, let's say, an extreme idea, but still possible. Still possible. Now bishop takes c3 and then e5. So e6, e5, knight f6. So many possibilities here.
So he's delaying knight f6 because of the opportunity of bishop c3, or is there also some ideas to go e5, f5? Or?
Yeah, e5, f5, yeah, of course. I don't know, maybe black can even play h5.
Wow.
Why not? Just trying to h5, then h4, sacrificing, or first knight d4, then h4, or bishop g4. I mean, sometimes black plays this kind of chess, yeah?
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Also this alpha zero, right? H4,
yeah, exactly.
H5.
Yeah, it's inspired by the modern engines. When they see the pawn on g3, it's like automatically you just play h5. You don't care about anything. You just push the pawn.
Yeah, looks like this. And yeah, what is the other ideas? Of course, knight f6, just normal.
Yeah,
developing.
just knight f6. Yeah, but knight f6, d4, and now you should take the decision. Yeah, what do you do? Or you make castle, allowing white to play the transposing actually to king's Indian defense. Knight a5, knight d2. Black is playing with a6, queen c2, rook b8. I mean b3, b5. And here, or bishop b2 or rook b1. This is the theory in king's Indian defense. So, and if you don't play, if you take on d4, then we have this Maroczy type of position. Takes, bishop d7. And here white can play with, I mean, knight c2. Also knight takes c6, by the way, is playable. Yeah, so if you play knight f6, you always should decide, yeah, what do you have against the move d4. Otherwise, of course, e6 or e5. I mean, e6 is considered to be like the safest move here.
But at some moment you anyway have to go for this knight f6. So there will be opportunity for white for sure to go this d4.
Well, if e6, I mean, and then knight e7, how do you?
Yeah,
then knight goes to e7. Yeah, e6. I mean.
By the way, I have to continue. Maybe d3. White has
d3
to play.
And knight to e7. And okay, there is this classical plan like bishop d2, rook b1, a3, b4. And yeah, here, by the way, maybe this is the only plan to play with rook b1, a3, b4. Sometimes white plays this weird move, queen d2, castles, and now b3.
Oh.
b3, bishop
so
b2.
defending the knight.
Yeah, defending the knight. The idea is very simple. And bishop b2.
Because first it's a very shocking move, but we have, by the way, decision by Mohammad Muradli. He played knight f6, so he allows d4. We might see this line, so we might see Maroczy pawn structure.
Yeah, or let's say king's Indian defense after castle. I mean,
so it depends what he decided to go
exactly.
for.
Of course, white can play after castle. White is not forced to play d5. Yeah, there is also this tricky line. Takes, and bishop e3. And
queen h5.
Queen a5 and queen a4. Yeah. Well, if you are not in the mood for, let's say, very sharp position, you just go for this endgame, which is okay, probably equal.
Yeah, but still, it's a big decision to go for this. I think both players would like to fight. I mean, knowing Cheparinov and Muradli, I mean, they're all very, very sharp. And but yeah, let's see what they have. But because you see Cheparinov already left. Muradli was also for a moment away from the board. We had the fight between two chairs. Muradli now is back, still thinking. So probably it's a good moment for us to go, probably not to board 3, but to board number 4, because we have checked briefly board number 3, the battle between two Americans. But in board number 4, we have Ivan Zemlyansky against Aydin Suleymanli.
Yeah, and we have the English opening, classical e5, 4 knights and e3. Yeah. So white is ready, let's say, to play the Sicilian time of positions after d5 with a tempo up. After, let's say, d5, e5, knight d5, bishop b4. So we have, like, let's say, reverse Rossolimo.
True. Exactly.
So
black is tempo down.
Yeah, black is tempo down, and queen c2. bishop takes c3 immediately, yeah. B takes and d6. E4. Yeah, white is
E4,
just
yes,
trying
yes,
to
go for
or maybe d3 or d4, depends of the situation. Castle. Now bishop e2 because d4 is not possible. It just loses a central pawn. So knight takes e4.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the queen.
No. And after bishop e2, h6, eventually preventing the move bishop g5, and b6, yeah? d3.
B6 was played.
And d3 was played too, so, well.
So there is a bishop pair for white, but also worse pawn structure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's like, this moves like d6, b6. I mean, especially b6, I don't really understand what is the idea behind. I mean, black wants to develop the bishop on a6, probably not. I mean, it is a really strange idea. I mean, as I know, black here should play for f5. I mean, this is the plan, yeah? You just retreat your knight to h7 or d7, knight h7, and then you play f5.
Maybe not to allow d4, so in case d4 would have been played, there would be bishop a6, knight a5, targeting the c4 square, similar to 𝐒𝐤𝐴.
Okay, this is very intelligent. Thank you, Angelica, for enlightening me. That's really, yeah. Now we switch to 𝐒𝐤𝐴 ideas. Yeah, bishop a6, knight a5, wow, and then c5 later on, yeah? So let's say that white cannot protect. Okay, let's say any like normal move like bishop e3, knight a5,
And now
knight d2, and c5.
And then probably rook c8, yeah, targeting.
And then rook c8, forcing white to play d5, to push d5, and then we got this typical position for 𝐒𝐤𝐴. Okay.
From one opening to another, so interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so this is probably the idea of the move b6, and white played d3, and now black is thinking, yeah. So knight h7 looks, I don't know, like the most natural idea in the position to play to go for a5, because if you if you delay that by playing, I don't know what, let's say bishop e6. Well, which, yeah, I mean, white can try to push f4 himself, like let's say knight e1.
And there was no d4?
Well, d4, yeah, d4, and then we switch to your idea, bishop c.
Again back.
Bishop c8, followed by, I don't know, queen e7, knight a5, bishop a6. Yeah, this is the modern chess, yeah? Modern chess.
Yeah, and looking also at the time, that might have been also part of the preparation, or at least some, lines or some ideas which players prepared, and they know something like this can be played, and that's why they went for it. But for a moment, is taking time, so it's has thought for more than 5 minutes now, while Ivan thought only for 3 minutes, and yeah, very interesting position, very interesting concepts. Yeah,
I mean, this is like the fight of. Yeah, so also for white can, let's say, play knight e1 with g3, knight g2, knight e3, and knight d5, yeah? So,
so who is faster?
Let's say, or white can just play rook on e1 or d1, knight d2, knight f1, knight d5, or knight f5. So this is another, let's say, typical idea for this structure. And just improving the knight from d3, from f3 to e3.
Yeah, of course, e3 would be ideal square, because knight on e3 is doing nothing. It just isolated there by the pawns. All right, so probably while Aydin is taking time, we have broke down the position. Let's go to the board number 5, because it's Pranav who is playing here with black, probably the player of the day from yesterday, winning against Nihal Sarin. I mean, Nihal was trying to bail out. There were moments where he could have tried to push for a draw and save it, but yeah, Pranav made it just great. And by the way, we were talking about it yesterday. It's so interesting that the last round they played in Chennai Grandmasters, it was between them, each other, but reversed colors. And then they play their next event. In the first round, they meet again, and there is a revenge, because the last game in the Chennai Grandmasters, it was Nihal Sarin who won. Here, Pranav made a revenge.
Yeah, very interesting story, very interesting. And today he plays with black pieces against very experienced I wanted to say Venezuelan, but now he moved to Spain. Yeah, Spanish Grandmaster 𝐒𝐤𝐤𝐡, Eduardo, and we have the Queen's Indian defense, Patronage variation, A3, Bishop B7, Knight C3, and Knight E4. Yeah. Okay, so probably one of the most famous game here is the game of Garry Kasparov against Ulf Andersson. He played Knight to D2 and E4 next, yeah, and probably, yeah, and actually we have the same. No, yeah, and that position, and that game, Andersson played the move Bishop to G6, and Kasparov played, I think, very energetic, like starting with H4, I mean H6 or H5, I don't remember exactly, then E4, and then somehow, I mean, it was really a beautiful game. I mean, sacrificing a pawn or then a piece.
Yeah, this is a beauty of chess.
So Bishop B7, E4, G6, double fianchetto. Bishop D3, Bishop G7, Knight F3, D6, Bishop G5, trying to provoke the move F6. No F6 today. Castles, castles, and Rook to B1. Well, a little bit mysterious move, I would say.
Okay, removing from the diagonal, maybe wanting to go for some B4.
Yeah, so B4 immediately.
Maybe C5.
C5 then, yeah. And once again about engines, I know that in this kind of positions, computer just sacrifice the exchange by playing D5.
Oh.
Yeah, it's no surprise nowadays because this kind of position computers evaluate.
Of course, dark squares.
Yeah, it's like okay. I mean, in so many openings you see this idea. So I just give the exchange. I mean, there is
like a mini Catalan lines. Right?
Catalan, King's Indian defense. Yeah, when you have this.
Can get a bishop.
Yeah, it's like space advantage. I mean, you have strong attack. You can just push the pawns on the king side. So yeah, that's why I think that okay, if you want to push b5, you could do it immediately. Or let's say instead of rook b1, let's say queen to c2 with the same idea. You protect the pawn and you bring the rook
maybe to d1.
To d1, exactly. To the I mean against the queen, yeah. I mean you play rook to d1 and the other rook comes to e1. Then you can play b4 if you want. You can push in the center, d5, c5, e5. Okay, rook b1, yeah.
You know, it's very interesting round number 2. We have so many clashes you were mentioning on the first board. We also have the same on the second board, also on the fifth board.
Right.
Another clash of the generations, experience of the players. And about this too, by the way, there is an interesting story because they have played only one classical game. It was last year in the Teplice Open tournament. And guess what? It was 𝐒𝐤𝐤𝐡 who won against Pranav. And they had exactly the same colors. But he went for English.
For English opening, yeah. So this time more, let's say, direct approach, d4 and playing this principal line. Okay, very good.
Very
so
interesting.
Yeah, so experience is also important in chess.
Yesterday, Motilov against.
Against Amin Tabatabai. He won a really great game. I mean, okay, probably he missed in the middle game, probably the strongest continuation, because it was a strong attack, but he squeezed him, at the end.
Exactly. So it's also interesting. Sometimes the experienced players allow some, couple of repetitions, just checking for a draw and just asking for the younger generation just to come forward, and that's where they get them.
Yeah. I would say this is a grandfather's approach, yeah.
Yes, with kids in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so rook b1, yeah. Okay, interesting move. Mysterious, but what do you play, let's say, after knight c6? Do you play d5 or not? I'm trying to provoke you, like, to I mean, I can get some squares, can bring, I don't know, the knight to d4 or e5.
Can you play bishop e3 to be more like solid?
And
please get refreshments and stay tuned for more in the round 2 of the Fujairah Global Chess Championship. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Yeah. I already pressed. I pressed. Welcome back. Welcome back to first Fujairah Global Chess Championship. Here one more time, we're your hosts for today for the round number 2. My name is 𝐒𝐤𝐤 and I'm joined by Grandmaster 𝐒𝐤𝐤. It's great to have you here today. We have such a productive day.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, we have so far so many great positions, and we were also looking at some boards below the fifths because there, of course, all the boards are top because we have so many strong players. We can say for almost everyone is 2600 plus out of the players. There are a few players below, but top chess is being played here in Fujairah, and let's probably get back to the board number 1 and see what changed since the moment we left.
Yeah.
Because I think we left pretty early on. It was we were saying it's going to be Slav.
Yeah, and actually it is a Slav defense, Meran variation, knight h4, white is taking bishop's pair, but black is so solid, I mean it's just a rock solid position. g3, castles, and takes, and b3. Okay, white is just completing his development by bishop b2, then queen comes to c2, bishop on f3, bishop on g2, rook on d1, rook on e1. I mean, it's like, it's easy to guess, to predict white's, let's say, next 10 moves, yeah? But bishop b2, bishop f3, queen c2, rook d1, rook e1, bishop g2. And black, okay, it's actually for black, it's not easy, yeah? It's like kind of, let's say, half waiting strategy, yeah? So ideally, you want to change the bishop, the black's bishops, yeah. For instance, queen a5. If white plays here a move like bishop b2, after bishop a3, black is doing, I mean, fine, at least fine. I believe that. Black is doing fine. I don't know actually how to prevent this bishop a3 move.
I mean, the knight is under attack first of all. So the only probably possible move is to go back knight b1, but you don't want to do that.
Now also, you know, I was trying to sacrifice a pawn here. I don't know if it works. Okay, let's try it. Bishop d2, and if bishop b4, a3. Well, and if bishop takes, then b4. Such idea. I don't know. What do you think, Andrzej, about this?
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, of course, it's possible. I mean,
Yeah,
also
but
looking at the evaluation board, saying it's all fine.
yeah, but imagine, imagine if I manage to take the bishop's pair. I mean, okay, bishop takes b4, not possible. I mean, if you move the queen to a6, then I have intermezzo, c takes d5, and you have no time to capture on c4. And if you go with the queen back, let's say to c7, bishop takes c3, pair of bishop against two knights. I mean, the structure is flexible. White can play, I mean, later on with f3, e4.
We have already seen in the game of Fujairah, she was having also two bishops against two, maybe two knights if she will take the other bishops. So, yeah, very interesting this encounter.
Yeah, so bishop a5, I mean queen a5. Okay, white, I mean, this is also, let's say, interesting idea, because after queen a5, bishop b2, black can just retreat the queen to c7 and saying, okay, your bishop on d2 is not doing great here. I mean, anyway, you need time to relocate your bishop to b2, like rook c1, maybe later, like, I don't know, rook c1, rook d8, rook c2, and maybe later, anyway, you play bishop c1, bishop b2. So, yeah, I don't believe that the queen a5 changed something in this position. So, okay, the other idea, let's say, would be like bishop to d6 and queen e7. But here we have this, I want to show to our viewers this strong positional idea. Let's say queen e7, c5, bishop c7, and f4. So if white manages to keep this position closed, yeah, so long term I have like a space advantage. I can improve this position forever, like by playing bishop f3, then queen d3, g4, g5, h5. But I believe in this moment, black can sacrifice a pawn. I don't know. Okay, knight e4 is one option, but what do you think about this move e5? Even though I'm afraid to make it on the board, I don't know.
Oh.
I know, probably not. Yeah.
But there is knight g4. Yeah, this was the idea.
What was the move knight g4?
No, after take. Yeah, was your idea?
No, I wanted to sacrifice the piece, but it's not. No. And not this scenario.
You wanted to sacrifice.
like this, but it's not
Okay,
here.
it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, sometimes like this kind of idea might be working, but not here. Yeah, but I'm just curious because after a 4, okay, I knew that this kind of position is considered to be better for white, but maybe not here. Yeah, maybe black can start. Let's say again, same idea, like takes, and bishop a5, and then again we have the threat is maybe bishop takes c3, bishop e3, and knight d4.
Yeah, because I think since this c5 is already played, it's also very important that white has this f4 followed up, because other than that, e5 would be...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so playing c5 without f4 is just...
suicide.
Just very bad idea. So, but this one with bishop a5, and let's say later just take, and knight comes to e4, rook b8, I mean...
Also close center for the two bishops, probably not the most ideal, but okay, computer says it's all great for white, probably because of the space advantage and potential maybe c6 weakness if there's...
Yeah, let's say maybe immediately like queen a4, maybe just black is not in time to... Well,
bishop c3 has to be played.
Yeah, and knight e4, and maybe bishop to a5.
Oh, and maybe bishop c7,
and
bishop
one day
d6.
bishop c7, but be careful, knight takes c5 is on the... yes,
you cannot do it.
So let's say
rook c8 has to defend.
Okay, even the pawn is under attack, yeah. But rook c8, bishop a6 also is coming.
Yeah, not easy.
Not easy.
And again, it's becoming all concrete. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the current position, b3, and and black. I mean, it's much way easier to play with white this position. Okay. All the moves are so simple. Just okay, a6. Yeah. Okay. Same this half waiting strategy. Maybe b5 one day.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, let's say bishop to b2, b5 immediately. What do you think about this move?
Probably it's the main idea, of course, to put so much pressure so that white goes for c5, and maybe then immediately e5 can be a move.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay, maybe immediately it's...
because of the knight d5.
Knight d5, knight b5, I don't know. The d5, yeah?
Knight d5 looks great.
Knight to d5. Yeah, knight d5.
Have to watch out for tactics, yeah.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah, so a6 was played, and okay, bishop b2 is the most natural move in the position. Of course, white can play the move, let's say, like bishop f3 first. I mean...
Just waiting move, improving the piece.
Yes, exactly. Now, I mean, you just forget about the move e5 or c5, because pawn on d5 always hangs. And also the knight can be, let's say, okay, the ideal place of the knight is on d3, yeah? So let's say knight e2, knight f4, knight d3 maneuver, the bishop on b2, taking full control over the center. But of course, bishop b2 is like the most natural move in the position. Bishop to b2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is bishop b2, and you don't want to have bishop on d2, and you have to finally get also the rook from a1 at some moment to c1 or d1. So makes a lot of sense. But of course, as you were mentioning, so many tiny details in the position, like you have to watch out for b5. At some moment, also e5 is an idea. So not so easy for both sides.
Yeah, and if, let's say, now you want to change the bishops with queen a5, now we can just prevent with a3 move.
And now there is no tempo already.
Yeah. Or another move can be, let's say, queen to c1.
Oh, even trickier.
Yeah, queen c1, just...
Safe.
Protecting everything.
Not to make any weaknesses.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is current position, and Jacobson is taking time. Looking also at the clock, looking great for US Grandmaster, and after yesterday victory also against higher rated opponent Nicolas Teodorov. Great start so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course we have other exciting matchups, so maybe let's move on to the board number 2. One more clash, Cheparinov against Muradli. One more time, we were having the position out of the opening, so probably let's refresh.
Yeah, after knight f6, and white did play the move d4, and we got this Maratsi bishop d7, exactly that we discussed, and knight to c2. Yeah, this is the one of the main move. Okay, also white can play knight c6 or knight b3.
So what's the main
C2.
idea, knight c2, just not allowing any take on d4?
And take on d4, and actually white is preparing the move b3. So let's say if black castles, now I can play b3.
Ah, because there are no jumps with the knight.
And the knight protects the rook. I don't know, maybe it can be important, let's say, in the variation knight e4. So let's say with the knight on f3, yeah, okay, this looks, let's say, less, I mean, less logical. But in this scenario, yeah, black can play the move knight e4 and win the exchange. And with the knight on c2,
yes,
the rook is protected, so there is no. And here, by the way, black played the move h5. Yeah.
we were talking about
Yes,
it
exactly.
earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like when you see the pawn on g3, you just cannot.
Because the knight cannot go back to f3. Look at this, knight went to c2, and now suddenly h5, h4 is coming.
Exactly. So white is
Forced to.
probably forced to stop this h4, and bishop to e6 now, b3, and knight. No, I thought knight to g4 is the idea. Knight to g4, yeah. Okay. At knight g4, bishop b2. Yeah, but then what is the follow-up of no? Castle and bishop to g5, yeah. Queen d7, rook c1. Knight h7, bishop d2. White is forced to play this move, and bishop to h3.
Trading
Okay.
with this fianchetto of bishops. And
Okay, but from the other hand, white can play the let's say typical Maratsi move, like e4, yeah. And if you trade the bishops, I'll just play, let's say, I don't know, something like queen e2, rook d1, maybe knight d5, or bishop e3, knight d4.
yeah, exactly something what you want whenever there is no more bishop on g2, of course, like e4.
Yeah, e4.
Maybe even f3 in some lines if
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
stop.
Yeah, f3, and then we just play this typical Maratsi, I mean, with knight d5, bishop c3, maybe change the bishops.
Or maybe f4 or 5 could be also an idea, but I don't know if you want to expose the king so much.
Yeah, and this scenario actually you just give the square g4. I mean,
that's
and
nice.
then the knight on g4 is, well, very unpleasant. Yeah, close to the king. Many tactical ideas are possible there.
So because this h4 was included, there is no more
Yeah,
this
exactly.
f4,
So
f5
probably
idea.
here white should forget about the plan with h4, h5, 4, f5, and just concentrate on playing on the center and queen side.
Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, bishop h3 was the last move played. How would you evaluate here our chances for both sides?
Well, I believe the position is about equal. I mean, about
Balanced.
equal. Yeah, it's balanced. I mean, well, probably should be slightly better for white. Yeah, because we have this Maratsi structure and we have more space with white. But from the other hand, black can play. I mean, can try to play, let's say, with a6, b5. This typical idea. f5 maybe one day. I mean, even here I was thinking, can black start just to play in a very aggressive way with f5? I understand it might look a little bit
Too much here. Risky.
yeah, but from the other hand, I don't know. Black is ready for now. f4 is the threat. I mean, if you play, let's say, queen to e2, I might be thinking about sacrificing the pawn. Yeah, because the knight c3
You
hangs.
cannot take. Of
Yeah, exactly.
course.
This is the, let's say, tactical justification. And pawn takes f4. I can take bishop c3, bishop c3, rook f4. Pawn hangs. Rook g4 is also unpleasant threat.
No, this doesn't look
Yeah.
good at all. This is just slowly getting more and more suffering.
Yeah, so if black wants to unbalance the position, f5, by the way, is not such a bad idea. Not such a bad idea, but of course it's risky. It's risky, and I don't know how I should continue here. Maybe just taking on f5. What do you think?
It is definitely possible. Right?
Taking, black can take with the rook.
With what to take? Yeah.
Yeah, with the
Big
queen.
question.
Well, then knight e3 comes with tempo, yeah? With the rook, maybe with the rook. And if knight e3, rook f7, follow it by...
Yeah, just putting pressure on the king side.
Yeah. No, I don't believe this is so bad. This is so bad for black.
Yeah, this evaluation is
Yeah.
definitely for human eye. It looks
Yeah,
like
so
fine
if white
position.
plays knight e3, then you lose the control over, let's say, d4 square. if knight d5, anytime black can play e6. So the knight here on d5 is not stable. I mean, black can play even g5 one day. Knight e5, queen c6, knight f3, so many ideas.
Yeah, definitely. So many ideas. So Muradli is taking time in the position. Ah, by the way, e4 was played.
E4 was played, yeah.
So we most likely will expect trade, and then we will see. Will Muradli go for this f5? But it looks very logical, and I think that's what he's also considering right now, because he doesn't want just to take, but he wants to see what's coming next. And probably it's a good moment for us to move on to the board number 3. It's a battle of American youngsters. We have here.
And actually everything, yeah.
And happened what you were telling, but not g4 move.
Not bishop e3, knight d7, g4. Okay, this is probably too much at this level. Yeah, so I just play the
safer approach, right?
Yeah, h4, h3. White usually stops the move h3, because otherwise the pawn goes too far. Knight d7, bishop d2, knight f8, and rook a2, e1. Yeah, as far as I know, this is still let's say theoretical ground. G6, yeah, okay, what's a move, and c4.
Yeah, I remember that all the time White is trying to find this moment to push for this c4. That's why many times also knight is on even on e6, maybe just targeting the pawn on d4, not to allow it, but yeah.
Correct, so yeah, bishop to c7. Well, black's idea is very simple, yeah. If in case that you play the most logical move in the position, bishop c3, I'll just play queen d6, threatening checkmate in 1.
Yeah.
Well, the strongest threat in chess, yeah. And
how do you stop f4?
I don't see, yeah, the only way. And now there are so many ways. I mean, one of the ways to play f5, try to bring the knight h7, f6, e4. Of course, this is a dream, but it's not easy for White to stop. I mean, to use the momentum that you have this activity. Maybe you should play just for d5 idea, because if you see the knight on e4, it's like a game over. Game over.
Definitely, yeah. Everything is getting weak. Pawn on f4 is weak.
Yes, yeah. I mean, just
pawn on h4 is a monster. It's just cutting the position.
So instead, after bishop c7, White played the move d5. Okay, this is not a pawn sacrifice, or it is actually a pawn sacrifice. Now Black played the move bishop d7.
Okay, what happens after queen d5? Bishop is hanging on c7, but bishop is hanging on d3.
Yes. And okay, should be something here like knight f4, knight c3. Now also rook hangs on e8, so maybe this wins a piece.
Yes.
This wins a piece. Knight f4, and okay, now bishop f4, rook e8. Well, but you know, this is not. I was trying to play for tricks. Of course, this is probably losing, but just I want to show to our viewers that some tactical idea like bishop. No, okay. Just giving giving too much.
Probably rook f8.
Yeah, rook f8 taking the piece, or even just taking the piece immediately. Rook takes e8.
Oh.
Rook takes e8 and bishop takes f4. Queen g5 check, I blundered. Okay. Intermezzo. Very important intermezzo. Queen g5 and then rook e8. Okay, it's interesting to check this kind of variations because yeah, this is part of actually the calculation. I mean. So once again, where was the mistake? After bishop takes h3, how White wins here?
Bishop e4.
Bishop e4, yeah. Yeah, this is probably, yeah.
Intermezzo attack and.
Yeah. Okay. So instead of queen takes d5, Black just play the move bishop d7, followed probably by rook c8.
Yeah, most likely. And okay, there is going to be this isolated pawn, so he's not rushing to take it. It's going to be a question if it's going to be a weakness or a strength, because it's also advanced, it's on the 5th rank, and usually when it's in the 5th rank, it can be very strong, but it also can be weak at the same time, because it advanced too much. But how do you target it? Because I don't see squares for the knight or for the bishop to target the pawn. So far looks like a pawn, like a usual pawn, just advance on d5. So
Yeah, I think, I mean, white can continue by his bishop c3, maybe queen b3 here. Just attacking the pawn on b7, maybe, I don't know. White wants to take. And then white can regroup his rooks, like rook d1, rook c1, rook d1. Maybe knight c3, knight e4, or knight b5. Maybe bishop f4, white can change the bishops.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's I don't know. Black's position is like black lost the harmony, I would say, on this position.
Yeah, it does look like.
Yeah, it's like the bishop on d7, the knight on f8. I mean, it's.
Yeah, the pieces are not working well together.
Yeah.
And Viral, what is your relationship with the isolated pawn? What do you say? Is it do you prefer playing with the pawn or against?
Well, yeah, it's actually the question is like through. I mean, as a chess player, it goes through all your career, through all your
Yes.
life. Yeah. So when you are a kid or when you are start chess, so it's isolated pawn. It's a weakness. I mean, just to avoid the positions because your opponent will change all the pieces and you'll lose the end game. So then you, of course, at let's say some when you get more experience, you understand. Okay, the pawn is strong. You control the center. You have outposts. Then you probably analyze some like classical games of Botvinnik or I don't know many other players, and then you understand. Isolated pawn. It's actually you can play the positions with isolated pawn. You can create. I mean, you can get the ideas, and I can recommend, by the way, a very good book on isolated pawn. It's a book of Grandmaster Alexander Baburin. I think the name of the book is Winning Pawn Structure, if I'm not mistaken. And there he explains like all the typical positions with isolated pawn. So, okay, now I'm not playing anymore. I'm not active chess player. I'm the coach. So it's my duty to explain to my students all the advantages and disadvantages or the weakness of the isolated pawn, how to play with, how to play against. Yeah, actually it's, but in this case, I believe the pawn is a strength and it's just white got a big advantage. I mean,
Huge space in the
yes,
center.
despite black controls the square like in front of the isolated white, but this is square d6, not square d5, yeah? So you would love to have the, let's say, the bishop on d5, or knight on d5 and white's pawn on d4. But when the pawn is advanced on d5, I believe it's completely different story.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all relative in chess, right? Also, we're talking about this bishop pair and knight pair, like whenever it's good, like there is no strict rule. It's all relative to each position. And again, as Viral just said, like perfectly, this looks like a strength. The pieces of black are just not looking well for this kind of position. And by the way, this is not the current position, the bishop d7,
So bishop d7.
Okay, queen b3 was not yet played.
And now white is thinking, By the way, one more, let's say, moment from my experience as a coach, So when I'm trying to explain the classical examples that we don't do, but I'm gonna get coached, but what, computer is just saying completely different. I mean, the computer considers that it's complete. So now, okay, some, let's say classical, so classical or patterns changed a little bit because it's everything concrete, In one position, okay, just the pawn, the isolated pawn, or I mean, it's a strength and you understand everything, but in some like small detail and could be completely different, completely opposite. So I'm trying now to not to how to say to explain the strategy, if it's not connected with the concrete position, because otherwise it's just it might look ridiculous in front of your students.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, there are some chess rules which are being broken on a daily basis by top grandmasters, because they calculate, they prepare these variations with a silicon friend, and okay, it's, of course, it knows much more than we, and for example, if we have some position, we might not consider some options intuitively, like when we calculate lines, let's say in 5 moves, we don't see one move which computer sees, we change the evaluations completely, but I think, of course, like, we are still humans, we are mortals, and of course we are not 3000 rated plus, so for that reason everyone is doing mistake, and as we saw also in the yesterday's round, there were so many games. There could be all decisive games, top 5, but second board was finished in a draw very quickly, but first, second, and third. So basically, from second board to the fifth, all could have been decisive, but 2 draws were happened because we are humans. We are making mistakes, and also time control, by the way, is something what's special in this tournament. But I think in most of the tournaments in United Arab Emirates, this time control is very popular, right? In Sharjah,
Yeah,
how was
okay.
it in Abu Dhabi?
It was actually the same.
The
I mean,
same,
yeah,
yeah.
90 minutes till the end of the game, and in Sharjah Masters 2, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. So yeah, actually, if I would be, let's say, part of the FIDE who is deciding on time control, I would make it even faster. Let's say 1 hour for the
60
game.
minutes.
Yeah, 60 minutes. It's just you can play 2 games a day. And the Open, I mean, the tournament will last like 4 or 5 days. I believe this is a good formula. I mean, why to waste so much time? I mean, it's clear that, okay, of course, I mean, it will affect the calculation or the quality of the games. But from the other hand, chess is a sport. I mean, chess is a competition, and mistake is part of the game. I mean, I don't believe that we need to follow the, let's say, old rules like playing long games and trying to find the truth and so on. So yeah, I believe that. But this time control is, could be, in my opinion, could be even faster.
Because you know, there is like this attitude or some approach that the longer time control is, the more quality of chess we can get. For example, in Biel, where I was also commentating, the time control was the World Championships time control 2 hours without no increment. Then from move 40, there is starting to be increment, and there were cases where the players, because usually you get used to having 30 seconds, and when you don't have it, and at the end you have like 5 minutes left for, let's say, 10 moves, it's completely different story to when you have an increment. So it's also a bit tricky, I believe.
Yeah, Europe, they like to keep traditions. They could even have the tournaments with adjournment. I'm not surprised.
With German,
yeah, why not?
Have you played adjourned games?
Yeah, I did. I did play 2 tournaments in my life.
Wow.
It was back in 1991, if I'm not mistaken. It was a tournament for the, at that time it was, I don't know, for candidate master title. And you adjourn your game. It was a round robin tournament. And the second tournament was, I don't know actually why did they decided to play with adjournment. It was in 1992, a tournament with international master norm in Romania, in Bucharest. And one of the game I remember till now with international master Constantin Ionescu, it lasted for 3 days.
Wow.
It was adjourned
Always
once.
twice.
And then, the organizer decided, okay, then it's the next round is coming. After, let's say, half an hour, let's adjourn one more time for the next one.
Incredible. I mean, now when I hear such stories, I mean, it feels like, you know, it was so a long time ago that I have not played any adjourned tournament, but it feels like something really special in chess. Of course, before all the computers became, and maybe a bit spoiled chess. Or improved.
Okay, not only chess, probably.
Okay, yes, you're right. But all right, let's probably get back to the round number 2. We just looked at board number 3, so maybe it's time for us to go to the board number 4, see how did the game develop.
Yeah, we had the position after move b6 here, and knight h7. Yeah, black did go for the plan with f5, bishop e3, and f5.
Yeah, this is what we were discussing.
Yes,
also.
h3, knight f6 back, and queen to b3. And now, so now the pawn is not more under attack, so black can just move the king away. Yeah, this is the idea of the move b6.
Yeah.
Now
the cards are opened.
Rook to g1 and queen e7. Okay, white is probably trying to play for d4 idea. Rook e1 slowly
preparing everything.
and queen to f7. Probably black wants to bring the queen, or maybe the knight.
Maybe after d4 there could be again some knight a5, bishop e6.
Oh yes, d4. This is the current position. So
what happens after knight a5? Queen b4, right?
Well, queen b4 and then c5. You want to take twice on c5, yeah? Takes and bishop c5.
Yeah, knight is in trouble. Knight c4, there is bishop f8. Yeah, the rook is hanging.
Yeah, and also the pawn on e5 hangs. I mean, too many
pieces are hanging.
And yeah, so knight a5, queen b4, and how black can continue? I don't know. Can black play the move e4 and then c5? So first e4. Where do you retrieve the knight to? d2, h2, h4, probably d2.
d2 looks logical, keeping an eye on e4 pawn, defending c4.
Yeah, okay, and I don't know, c5 is to calculate if it works, but black can just concentrate on the king side.
Oh, now suddenly all pieces are gone. This pawn on e4 is cutting the position. Knight cannot go back to f3. It looks perfect. And then maybe knight could jump. Okay, knight cannot jump just yet.
Well, first of all, yeah, it's a very concrete threat of bishop h2. I don't know, king h2 or king h1. Okay, let's say one of the kings move. Well, to
king
h1.
h2 probably.
To h2, yeah.
Just to have it all
defended. And I was trying c5 to play anyway. I don't know. Let's try. c5, dc5, dc5, and bishop c5.
Okay, apparently there is something. Knight c6.
And queen a4 or queen b5.
And maybe knight e5, some checkmate idea. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, this here should be something connected with maybe bishop h3 and then rook comes to f2. Well, how to connect all these ideas together? Okay, can we start with taking the bishop, then the bishop takes h3, pawn h3, knight g4. No, that's too much. Maybe we can ask help of our viewers.
Yeah.
After bishop c5. It's black to play and win, and we cannot find it.
Yeah, we're trying.
So knight c6. Oh, maybe something like simple. Knight c6, queen b5, or queen a4, and bishop d7. No, then the rook hangs. Yeah. No time for.
Doesn't work.
Okay.
Is there some e3? No, e3.
E3, then
Just
bishop
takes back.
Yeah, bishop takes back. So.
Or maybe take on c5, queen a5, e3, like this.
Okay, I like
We're getting
idea.
somewhere.
Yes. Pawn takes.
And now
knight e4, yeah. Bishop h3, knight e4. So many tactical ideas.
Let's try to calculate, not to.
Okay, knight e4.
Bishop e4 or knight e4? Because bishop e4 also possible.
Yeah, maybe knight e4, yeah. I believe knight e4 is like the most logical move in the position.
So how do you stop queen g3? Of course, it's not, maybe not yet checkmate, but it's looking so great.
Yeah, and if knight takes e4, bishop e4, then okay, probably this is game over.
Yeah, because rook f2 is coming. If you play rook g1 passively, rook f2, so.
Correct.
And if bishop f3, then rook f3, you sacrifice everything.
Maybe rook f3, bishop f3 directly, but then the queen comes to g3 and then bishop h3. So this is game over.
Yeah, this is.
Okay, the only move that I can see is the move queen to c7, trying to prevent the move queen g3.
And queen is getting ready to go back to f4.
Exactly. So let's punish white here.
There, bishop h3, rook f2.
Wow. Brilliant. Brilliant idea.
For computer?
I like it very much. Doesn't matter. The idea is just great. Okay, taking with the pawn leads to checkmate.
So you have to
take with the king.
But then
yeah, only move. Only move king h3.
Now, okay, there is rook f2. There is knight f2.
Yes. Rook f2, knight f2. Okay.
Queen is 6, but okay, queen will just
Maybe
go
rook
back.
c8 intermediate move, but I don't understand exactly why do we need this move. Queen e5, yeah, just centralizing the queen. So rook f2.
Yeah.
Checkmate in 1, it's the strongest threat in chess. Rook f2, bishop f3, yeah.
Knight is hanging on d2.
But then the rook, I mean also rook is hanging, everything
is hanging.
And can we, I know, I was thinking rook f8, but bishop takes e4.
Knight g5 and
Knight g5, yeah, this is the simplest way. And knight takes
knight
f3,
knight c3 and
f3,
queen d2, yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
And after knight g5, where do you go? King g3. Well.
Really?
What else?
Ah, because yeah, you're attacking the rook. But
okay, black can take the queen by knight e6. Black can take on d2 here. Black can
do anything.
Okay, yeah. But what was the
move? Yes.
King to h4.
But
okay, king to h4.
Okay, let's continue the journey.
Yeah.
Okay, knight f3 looks logical.
Knight f3, and let's say knight takes f3.
I mean, rook g2 with the checkmate threat.
And rook g2 with the checkmate threat. Yeah, it's just.
Apparently.
So.
Just looking at the position, I mean, this looks so crazy.
No, maybe just queen back, queen to f4. I mean, everything is protected now.
Maybe
rook
queen
d6.
takes g2. Maybe queen has to take because then it's targeting knight.
And maybe g5 comes. Yeah. So queen takes g2.
It's amazing. Computer defends everything.
Yeah. So then just a rook f8, rook d8, and queen f6. That is the move. So there is no rook d8 because queen f6 check, double attack, and the threat is now
rook
maybe
g2.
a rook g2 or queen g2 now. And what about the move queen g3? Still looks defendable.
Queen e4? No.
Queen e4, queen g4. And g5 somewhere, no, g5 then, yeah, g5, king g3, oh yeah. So queen e4, queen g4, g5, if king g3 then rook g2, so king h3 and rook f3.
Oh my god.
This
what a line! I mean, this is incredible.
Okay, probably
probably will not happen.
Yeah, and not yeah. And after queen g3 we have one more, the last trick.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
Queen h4 and checkmate to come. Wow. Okay.
Brilliant chess, yeah.
Yeah.
Simple chess.
Yeah, far from reality, but
of course.
Queen b5 was played. Queen b5, not queen b4, but queen to b5. And now Suleimanli is taking his time. Yes. So now c5 comes without tempo, but maybe black can play c6 and c5. Okay, or e4.
And now e4, there is bishop hanging on
the bishop
f5.
hanging on f5, yeah. So this probably is the...
You have to calculate now.
But can they just play bishop d7 first?
And then e4.
Yeah, you move the queen to b4 and now e4.
And similar story.
Exactly, knight d2.
By the way, isn't it just better
Queen
version
g6.
because bishop is not standing on the way with the rook? So.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Let's say that if white plays the same, king h2, c5, d takes c5, bishop pawn c5, bishop c5, and now we have the same
attack.
Same attack. So taking, and brilliant idea e3. But now we don't have knight e4 because we took with the bishop on e4. So we need.
But there is bishop c6.
Oh yeah, okay.
But probably.
So yeah, probably we need a different solution there, but a knight f3, yeah. Not yet. Knight e4, and then we have the same attack, or not the same, yeah.
This
chess is not an easy game.
A knight h5?
Maybe knight from h5, yeah.
From another side. No.
And if queen c7 and rook c8. Okay, guessing, yeah. Guessing
is starting.
Yeah.
And by the way, bishop d7 was just played. So
bishop d7 was just played. Okay.
So we might see e4 and this c5.
Yeah.
So maybe we're not so far from the game. But yeah, very interesting variation, definitely. What do you think? Shall we move on to the board
Right.
number 5?
Board number 5, we have 𝐇𝐤𝐤𝐡 playing with Pranav, and we left after the mysterious move rook b1, yeah? So h6, bishop to e3, and f5. So black did play this idea, but in a slight, a little bit a different move order. Takes, and d5.
Oh.
The pawn takes.
Taking the pawns
takes.
on the king side. Now it's like f5, h6, isolated.
Yes.
Kings looking a bit lonely. No pawns around.
And what if I'm not impressed of, and I'm just taking the pawn on d5?
Good question.
We call it pawn in our village, I don't know.
You see a pawn, you take a pawn.
Yes. Especially this is the central pawn now.
Is there bishop b5 and a4?
Wow.
And b4?
Wow.
Or, not possible.
I can go queen
Queen
c6 and hide my queen to b7,
okay,
yeah.
no.
So what else? What else? I think it's a kind of, let's say, long-term compensation. I don't believe white can punish blacks directly here. Bishop a6 now. This is probably too much. Okay, can white just play knight d4? But no, knight d4. Knight d4, yeah.
Yeah, knight d4 looks.
Yeah, but knight d4. I mean, I don't see any concrete, let's say, threat. I mean, black even can play.
Maybe knight h4.
Knight h4,
From
yeah.
another side.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I like this idea very much.
So same idea, but from different side of the board. And also g6 now is hit.
Yeah. So knight g6, bishop. So many threats. Queen h5, by the way. It's an unpleasant threat.
Yeah, the king is lonely on g8, so it's.
Okay, let's try to protect everything. Let's say bishop e6.
So queen h5 looks logical.
Yes. And queen f7 I wanted to go, but I'm not sure that I can. Yeah, queen f7.
And after knight g6 there is no threat because queen is pinned.
Yeah, I can just develop my knight d7, knight c6. To bring in my last piece.
And also f4 is a threat? Or is
Might be a threat, yeah. So queen f3, then knight d7.
I think there was something stronger for white instead of queen h5.
Let's try.
The computer was saying, I mean, the evaluation bar was all the way up.
So what about the move queen f3, the knight c6, yeah?
Is there bishop f5, queen d5?
Wow.
No, apparently, but if rook takes,
And
knight
you know
takes.
what is the reason? That it might be the queen trapped in some, let's say, check. King h7, or no, bishop e6. Queen takes rook, knight c6, queen b7. And how do we trap the queen? I thought rook b8 and b5, but the queen is no moves, but it's not easy to trap the queen, yeah?
And
So
what
the
if,
bishop.
what if you play instead of knight c6, c6? Is it possible?
Let's try. And
Here's c6 and knight
c6.
a6.
Oh yeah, yeah, this is the solution.
Okay, probably white will have to play bishop b6 or something.
Just to escape
Just to
with the
give
queen,
up,
yeah.
but
Okay, then white left is just up material. And if rook to c1, one of the rook to c1,
maybe
just stopping the knight from
d5.
bishop d5, and then again, threat is knight a6, and the queen is trapped. Yeah, so then bishop takes f5 probably
Doesn't work.
doesn't work, but queen h5 not, bishop f5 no. What else do we have? Queen f3, knight c6.
I mean, knight g6 is there, but there is this rook f. Or is it?
You know
rook
what
f6?
could be the solution here? The move just rook c1 and look at the position. Knight c6, bishop b5 comes, and now all the threats are on the board. Yeah, bishop f5, queen
Suddenly
h5.
all is working out now.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean, I don't know what black can play here. Like a move like c5, now bishop takes f5 probably works. Not.
Again, not.
Okay.
Yes,
So
so-
c5. Yeah. Queen f3, knight c6. Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, for humans, I mean, for grandmasters to find.
Yeah, definitely. It's,
What I believe that black should take the pawn. I mean, black should capture this pawn because otherwise, and he did actually. This is the.
oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
guessed
okay,
it. We were
okay.
guessing the moves great
Yeah, no,
today.
because actually this is from practical point of view. I mean, if you don't take the pawn,
You just suffer.
you just suffer for free. Yeah. So you have
Better
a choice.
to suffer
Yeah.
for a pawn.
Exactly. So knight h4 and now black is thinking, yeah? So bishop e6 was our suggestion, but yeah, bishop e6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting position. So 𝐸𝐤𝐤 sacrificed the pawn, playing very energetic chess.
Yeah, and this game can go like I don't know if 2 or 3 results because like, it can go either way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the time is approximately equal, let's say.
Yeah, very inspiring chess. Considering also tomorrow morning will be 3rd round and double round tomorrow,
Yeah.
so definitely very tough for the players. But they're fighting it all. All right, so maybe we will see this continuation. Probably it's a good moment for us to go back to the board number 1, our top boards, but not the top seeded player because we had so many so-called upsets yesterday. Of course, many draws, but also Michal Sarin lost to Pranav. Again, we don't really call it upset. Both players are super strong, and it could go either way. But yeah, we have Jakobsen against Sugirov.
Yeah, no, not much development. Only 2 moves after queen c2, b5, and a3 white played. Probably preventing the move b4, yeah? Probably preventing b4. White wants to play to complete his development at bishop b2, then bringing the rooks to the center. I mean,
You're just getting flexible position, not to allow anything.
But by the way, a couple of years ago, I remember Sugirov was 2-7. I mean, his rating was 2-7, 2-7.
He was playing, I think, in Sharjah Masters.
Exactly, and not only he played in a round robin tournament in Sharjah in Aleph, and yeah, he was 2-7-10 maybe at that time, yeah. So imagine in like in less than 2 years, he dropped his rating to, I mean, how many? 70 points, yeah, more than 70 points. Yeah, 70 points exactly. So
we were talking yesterday. I think Nick Lesh was here. So I guess he's a head of the media here in Fujairah Global Chess Championship, and he was mentioning about Pranav that like around 1 year ago he was almost 2700, so he was very close, and now he's below 2600. So in the course of the year he lost 100 points, and that's how.
Yeah, it happens. It happens in chess. I mean, there are ups and downs.
Not Pranav? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Asel Narayan. Sorry.
Narayan. Of course.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so many
strong players from India. I cannot.
Nowadays, yeah. Okay, actually, India is dominating nowadays the chess world.
Yes.
I mean, no big surprise.
Thank you for correction. Yeah.
We have grandmasters. I mean, they are scoring norms like almost every day.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially here in the United Arab Emirates. I mean, from let's say, I mean, half of the participants are representing India, and not let's say only Indians that are coming from India, but Indians, I mean, born here, residents here. There are so many strong players. I mean, in participating in juniors tournament, they're also playing very well. I mean, my kids are always competing with them, but not always very successfully. But yeah, this is the reality.
Also, many Indians originated from India, like representing England. Also, we have Abhimanyu Mishra representing United States. So like. Basically dominating the chess world so far, with Gukesh on the top as a world chess champion. So I remember it was also like last year when you were also in Qatar Masters, and you were watching at the same time Qatar Masters. There was happening the World Championship match. It was truly exciting, and the new era of chess has begun, I think, from that moment.
Yeah, and this is not the. This is only the beginning, I would say.
Yes, only the beginning.
Now we see also women chess is dominated by India, not only men.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so so after a3, okay, black can try to play for c5 idea. I was thinking, meanwhile, let's say rook to c8, and if white plays the move bishop b2, I was trying to, okay, I don't know exactly in which move order, let's say d takes c4, b takes c4, and c5. Looks risky because probably black is sacrificing a pawn somewhere, and in the variations, but from the other hand, black is ready. Black is ready. I mean, black is much better developed, and I don't know. I mean, it is like, let's say, against the rules. Yeah, when your opponent has bishop's pair, you don't want to open the position. But maybe here, I mean, black's pieces are well developed, well placed. I don't know. What do you think about it? Can black play? I mean, it's a pawn sacrifice, yeah. Taking on d4 on b5, taking on d4. We have again the position with isolated pawn, but it's a pawn up.
Yeah, it's a pawn up position, but maybe there is some compensation. I mean, our metal friend tells us it's all great for white, but I mean, definitely a possibility. But while we were talking, they have played the moves, so the trade happened.
Yeah, b takes c4.
Yeah, so
taking
b2.
twice. So the idea is maybe similar. Yeah,
similar.
Takes,
yeah.
and now c5. I mean, white,
without rook c8.
And without sacrifice of the pawn. I mean.
Yes, no.
We are trying a little bit to
too complicated.
Yeah, to spice up the game, but no. It's just much safer and probably stronger.
Yeah.
And probably much stronger. So b takes c4, d takes c4, and if bishop takes on c4, then c5, and actually black is I would say very close to equalize the game. Bishop takes on c5. Okay, I mean white is still bishop's pair, but I believe that the pawn on a3, this a3 move is too slow. It is too slow. Instead, white could just play rook to d1. So imagine the same continuation, like you take on c4 now twice, and after c5, white can play, let's say, d5.
Oh, it's a different story.
Yeah, because there is no knight b6, white takes on c6, and probably white was a little bit worried of move b4, but I don't really, after let's say rook to d1, I don't really see why do you, I mean, why should you
be worried?
Yeah, be worried about this move. I mean, knight comes to e4. Now the pawn on c6 is a weakness. I mean, a potential weakness. White just plays a3, maybe bishop d2 or bishop b2, rook c1, bishop f3.
Yeah, b4 is isolated now.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really understand this the necessity of this move. I mean, why do you really need this move?
But maybe he was calculating some lines and he saw some ghosts and he was a bit scared. Also, he's playing against such a strong player, as you mentioned earlier, 𝐤𝐤𝐤, like just a couple of years ago, he was over 2,700. I mean, such a top player. So, of course, he's still a top player, definitely, but his rating got lower a little bit. And definitely.
Yeah, okay, this a3 was a little bit over prophylactic. And takes, and and this is the current position. So if bishop takes c4, c5, and I believe that black is very close to equalize the game.
I suggest we go quickly through the top boards, see what happens. So second board right now, and after we do it, I suggest we take a look also in the masters in the first board. But first, let's see how the game proceeded, because I believe there is a lot of action also happening in the superstars.
So a6, so black played for not f5, but black decided to play for this classical b5 idea. And knight d5, bishop takes g2, king g2, rook b8, insisting on the move b5. Bishop c3, takes, and b5. Oh, okay, black actually played quite logical and just probably comfortably was playing b5. Yeah, black I believe is doing fine. Takes, knight b5, rook c8, knight d4, and this is the current situation. Well, the only black's problem is the knight on h7. Let's say with the knight on, let's say on e5 or any other square, I mean, it would be like a decent position.
And the problem is you cannot really remaneuver it so easily. I mean, knight goes to a fade, but where does it go forward? Maybe knight e6 over in trade, but also you have a pressure on c6 square.
Yeah, knight f8, by the way, knight c6 and knight e7, so...
Oh, yeah. So this is a current threat.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking e6, but actually it's losing for the same reason.
So you have to address this threat right now.
Yeah.
For Muradli right now, by the way, under 30 minutes on the clock, while Chaperinov has comfortable time advantage with 50 minutes currently. So yeah, getting
yeah, so many, let's say, tactical ideas here. For instance, also this one, taking and e6, I believe is also bad because of knight b6. Knight b6, queen a7, or no, knight b6. Hang on.
Knight b6.
Knight b6. I thought queen a7, but queen a7, rook c8, rook c8, queen d6. What's going on here after knight b6? What we are missing, or maybe with queen a7. What else?
Queen a7, rook c8.
Queen a7, rook c8, rook takes c8, queen takes d6. And the knight is trapped, yeah? Or okay, not really.
Maybe knight f8 now, or knight f6.
A rook hangs, so we need
we have
to move the rook to c2.
And then queen a2 is a threat.
Yeah.
But now knight d7?
Knight d7, no threats.
No, yeah, because of course now knight d7 is
Exactly,
perfect.
Exactly. Our strong defensive piece. And if white plays, just say like a4, just saying, okay, black is just, white is just pawn up. And white it is pawn up. I don't know. Knight f6, knight g4, yeah?
Maybe there is queen b7 with rook c6 idea, targeting the pawn on e4.
Great.
Okay, the computer is
like
laughing at me, but
no. Actually, no. I like it. I like very much this idea. Maybe queen d4, just defending everything. I'm not sure about this move. Also stopping knight f6 move.
Yeah, now suddenly it's hard to find the way.
Yeah. Okay. So it's white is pawn up, but the black's pieces are very active. Let's say maybe black can bring the knight. What about move knight f6?
And now if queen d4, then you can just take knight.
Take on e. Oh no, then the rook hangs on c2. Maybe knight to g4, or maybe e5 move. By the way, can black play e5 here?
Can, it's possible. Yeah.
Queen e5, then queen takes knight. Queen d8 check, king g7.
Queen e3, knight g4.
Queen e3, knight g4.
Queen has to. But if queen goes back, then there is knight e4.
Yeah.
So queen d3 maybe.
Queen d3 attacking the rook. Yeah, that's an unpleasant move.
And now knight can go to d5 from d6.
Yeah, rook to b2 and knight d5. Yeah, and pawn up. Okay, maybe some chances with knight g4 here. Queen f3.
Maybe there was just queen b5. Maybe pawn was just hanging instead of knight d5. Here after b2, maybe just queen b5.
And knight takes e4.
I don't know, but
And
there is
queen
no
takes
threat.
e5.
Yes. No.
Attacking everything. Yeah, rook,
All the
knight.
pieces under
Yeah,
attack,
this is game over. Okay, so this is the current. The position is after knight d4 and.
Huge threat now. Knight e6, knight e7.
And by the way, look at the time difference. Yeah, it's 15 minutes for white, and black is only 23 minutes.
Yeah, almost 30 minutes difference.
And it's not only pressure on the clock, but also the position might be unpleasant. Okay, or you need to play very precise here too.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to find many. I would say only moves here.
Yeah, very tough situation right now for Azerbaijani Grandmaster Muradli. So let's move on to the board number 3, our American clash.
Yeah.
In the tournament, we have seen the position with the pawn already on d5.
Yes.
Is there any improvement?
So knight d4. I just played move knight d4. Okay, bringing the knight into
We were
the
discussing
game.
about the square, that it looks very good for the knight.
Rook to c8 and queen b3 now. Yeah, it's okay. So. And black is thinking now. So bishop b6 looks like normal move. Attacking the knight, protecting the pawn on b7. What else can we suggest? Can we, I don't know, okay. Not our pieces, so we can sacrifice a little bit. No.
I like this approach. Yeah.
I was trying to play bishop h3, queen d6, but no. It's too optimistic, too optimistic. Okay, I don't know. Bishop e5, bishop e5, knight f3. By the way, knight d4, knight f3. This is the maneuver, targeting the pawn h4. And
if g4 would be played, then f5 would be. Then knight would go back to d4. That's actually very nice.
Yeah, and after knight f3, you just with black you just can forget about the checkmating ideas with queen d6. So no checkmates, and the knight on f3 is just very strong piece.
Yeah, definitely. It's a super tough position for black. I mean, pieces, as you were mentioning also earlier, very awkward, located. Although everything looks like centrally placed, it's strange enough, but somehow they're not working. I think due to this bishop on d7, it's just standing there, but it literally has not a single good square to go. So bishop on d7 is stopped by its own pieces. Oh, so that's why probably Andrew decides that he needs more space, so he's trading the rooks.
Rook e1, and what can be the next move? Okay, bishop b6 is, but knight f3, and then once again, I need to. Can just black improve the knight? I don't know, by knight h7, knight g5, or no time for such maneuver. Knight h7, but I'm very much afraid. Yeah, I was just. I don't know, this one, knight e6 works?
Wow.
Okay, not our pieces, once again.
I mean, at least, according to the computer, it works, not for the winning, but at least for equality, as it's saying.
Yeah, but...
Okay, you don't really want to take, it's like very scary, but what to do? What to do if not to take? Maybe with a bishop?
Well, then white takes back, and then...
So probably black is forced to take.
With the pawn, yeah?
Yeah, with the pawn.
Take back, and maybe the move like, I know, bishop c6 is just losing, e7, queen d5, bishop
maybe
c4.
King has to move, king h8 or something?
Yeah, but this is just advantage, free advantage.
Yeah,
I know, can
bishop
probably
g6,
maybe bishop g6, maybe,
Everything is working.
Well, knight e6. So pawn takes, and what black can do here? Bishop a4. I don't know. I'm just trying.
You're just guessing.
Yeah, just guessing.
Yeah, bishop d3 is hanging, of course.
Yeah, bishop a4. Okay, this is the move to miss, by the way. You know, when you're in such.
Of course, especially when you look like so many moves in advance.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so,
we have.
Instead of knight h7, bishop a5.
Yeah, because I think there was after knight h7, the evaluation went a bit, like not a bit, but far up, so that it's completely winning. So
maybe just
apparently we missed
knight f3. I don't believe we missed something like tactical way. I believe that after knight f3 is just bad position. Just bad position. So bishop a5 was played in the game.
Oh, maybe there. I'm so sorry. I just saw
yeah.
something. I saw d6 and bishop g6, or first bishop g6 and then d6.
Okay, d6, bishop d6,
and bishop g6.
Wow.
Okay. Just as we say, on the
you are
left.
In great shape. You should maybe better playing in the tournament, no?
I think I'm good here. Because usually I suggest good things for others, but when I play myself.
Yeah. This happens to all of us.
Yes.
So bishop a5. Okay, it's a logical move, yeah. I mean, black is getting some space. I mean, you have no time to take the pawn on b7 because the rook on e1 hangs, like after bishop e5, bishop a5, queen a5, queen b7. Okay, good decision for Hong Andrew. Bishop a5. Well, probably white can go for let's say bishop takes a5, queen takes a5, and knight f3. Defending the rook. also targeting the pawn on h4. Yeah. But it's clear that black got some space, yeah. So it's,
we're getting into this current positionism. Queen takes a5.
Yeah, and
so.
here, yeah, knight f3 I was suggesting, but yeah, okay, rook d1, there is bishop a4.
Knight f3 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, defending the rook, targeting h4.
Exactly, yeah, and
because knight on d4 is standing very beautifully, but it doesn't really have so many squares.
yeah, so knight f3 and okay, maybe white wants to take the pawn on b7.
Yeah.
Can black play a move like rook d5, rook c5, attacking the d5 pawn? How bad is this move?
I mean, according to computer, it's not bad at all, but
Yeah, it looks a little bit hanging, yeah?
yeah, maybe a bit. With attacking the pawn from the side with a rook, it's
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
not normally what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And if queen takes b7, I was thinking rook takes d5 and d4, and
Oh.
is this okay? d4 and what? I was struggling finding the move here. Ah, queen takes a2. Chess is an easy game.
Oh, you're just defending.
Yeah.
If you see a pawn, you take
yeah,
a pawn.
exactly, and you defend everything.
Yeah, I think Viral, it's a good moment for us to go on the next break because you know we have still the time travel phase before us, and I think we want to be there for it. So, dear viewers, thank you so much for watching broadcast, and we hope you're enjoying and also enjoying the games which are happening here at the first Fujairah Global Chess Championship. We'll be right back in a few moments. Welcome back to the round 2 of the first edition of the Fujairah Global Chess Championship. We are not only having the Superstars tournament, which is obviously very impressive. There are so many top players, but also there is also very strong open tournament Masters section, and I think it would be great for us to check what is happening there.
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you look at board number 1, Akopyan Vladimir, I mean, it's like one of the top player in the world. I mean, some years ago, he played the World Championship final with Khalifman back in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. And he lost the match, but he's like vice world champion. Yeah, I mean, and he plays on top board with white pieces and against Chan Kim-yu from Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken.
Malaysia?
Yeah, from Malaysia, I think, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, my flag. Okay.
I think as a chess player, whenever you, you
It-
have these people with the flags, you already know so many.
Yeah, and let's check it from the beginning. Okay, the current position is just wild, I would say. So, English opening. Again, this knight c7, knight c2, similar idea as in the game of Chaparinov with I forgot.
Chaparinov against
Suleimani. Suleimani.
Muradli, sorry.
Okay.
Another Lee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so many young players nowadays.
Yes.
And yeah, and takes on a5, knight f5. This is still theory. I mean, it looks like the position is messy, but it's a theoretical position as far as I know. Knight e6 was okay. Rook c8, knight d6, rook b8, bishop takes c6. A very concrete approach. Queen b3 check, winning the exchange. Yeah. It's a full exchange, not even for a pawn. But look at the white king. Yeah, imagine like the bishop after c4, bishop to c5. It's almost checkmate. And c4 happened, e3.
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have relation bar. Could you please switch on the?
Yes.
So that we. Okay, now we now we
But,
know more.
But we are also strong players,
Of
by the
course,
way. I mean,
yeah.
maybe we don't need even the evaluation bar.
Yeah, I think it's
We
also
can understand.
Yeah, it's most important for the viewers because many times they do ask for it. They want to see what is going on there.
Yeah. So e3. Yeah. I mean, black's threat is to bring the bishop to c5. e3, taking on d3. Rook d1, rook c8, protecting the knight. Rook to d2 and b4. Knight d1, knight a6, intending to bring bring the knight to c5, e4, knight f2, and knight c5. Yeah. And this is the current situation. Well, what do you prefer, black or white here?
Definitely black. I mean, looking at the pawn on d3 for now, and it looks like such a strong pawn there, and the bishop pair. Of course, there is an exchange, black is exchanged down, but there are no real open, I mean, their only open file is C file, and I was told that if there are like the open files there, of course, rook is stronger, but in this position...
Yeah, but actually the first, let's say, criteria of evaluation is king's position, yeah? And white king on g1 is just, let's imagine the queen, yeah? The queen comes to d5 and it's just checkmating the king. So yeah, compensation is full. I mean, d3 pawn plus bishop's pair plus
king's position.
Yeah, weak king, and yeah, very strange that Vladimir Akopyan went to this position. I mean, probably he missed something in the calculation, yeah, because taking this exchange on f7, it looks like safe for white. But after c4, I mean, you start facing some problems here. Bishop to c5.
So maybe he didn't have to give up the pawn.
But how do you really? Yeah, exactly. It's not easy to find a move. Maybe you can.
Is there a d4?
d4, queen takes d4.
I will check.
No, but actually, maybe this is not a bad idea. You know, d4, queen takes d4, and e3 now. And in this scenario, white wins a tempo, a very important tempo. Now if you play queen d8 or rook d1, But maybe black could, yeah, that
Yeah,
bar
the
is...
evaluation bar is jumping up and down.
So what did we miss?
Ah, bishop e8 is trapping the queen.
And bishop takes c7. And now queen d4.
Ah,
Yeah, again,
tricky,
intermezzo.
tricky.
Small intermezzo, and the game is over. And the game is over. Okay, so probably here, yeah, around here, he start missing his black's play. I mean, rook c8, rook d2, b5. Energetic play, knight c6, sorry, knight a6, knight c5, and this is the current position. Well, yeah, interesting game. Interesting game.
Indeed.
I don't know, it's really hard to recommend here for white. Maybe rook to d1, but then black just can defend the pawn by bishop b5. I mean, let's try rook to d1. So white wants to take the pawn, yeah? Well, the bishop is trapped. I mean, I don't know if immediately, but this idea of g5 is always...
It's always there.
Yeah, I don't know, can we... I don't know. If we start with g5, then knight takes d3, yeah? And no time to take the bishop.
Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't really... Looks like there is no time, but computer sees something here.
So bishop e8, only move is queen c4.
Queen c4.
Queen is not trapped. Bishop d5, then queen to h5 escapes there.
I wanted to trap, to try to trap the queen like g6 with bishop d5, but there is bishop h6,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
not working.
Okay, I
And if
believe...
we do bishop d5,
Yeah, queen h5,
and then maybe some g6, g5,
g6,
I don't know.
queen h6, or queen h3, g5, knight d3, yeah, and everything starts to be
Same.
hanging. Well, maybe black can play like, let's say, a simple move like bishop c4,
Just defending.
just defending the pawn, but it gives white's time, yeah, for e4 maybe. A move like e4, preparing bishop e3, or maybe, I don't know, g4. So, should be something more energetic, yeah, let's say, after rook d1.
I think bishop d5 was liked by the engine.
Yes.
So it was at least first move, but here...
Well, I don't believe taking the pawn. Taking knight d3, yeah? So g5...
g5 or g6, or first g6 and then g5.
Okay, g6, queen h3.
There is...
Bishop e6, queen f1.
Ah, queen is escaping,
Bringing
yeah.
back the... Well, I was just trying to calculate the move g5 here. Let's say g5, knight takes d3, and knight e4, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because
But
now the jumps are...
Yeah, knight e5, but it's not that simple. I mean, just knight e5.
But then just
No,
take,
knight takes d2, yeah?
and rook c1, yes.
Yeah, taking the rook, yeah. Not the bishop, not the knight, but the rook. So, yeah, but it's not easy calculation, yeah. Everything hangs. I mean, the kings are open. I mean, okay. So, okay, probably rook to d1 is the most logical move in the position. Rook to d1 here is the most logical position, the move in the position.
Yeah, it is. And also look at the body language of Vladimir. He's fully sitting over the board, just trying to focus on it. Definitely such.
His opponent is just missing, yeah?
Yeah, of course, because probably he's so confident in his position that he's just watching some other games. But yeah, for Vladimir, it's so far a tough challenge. Of course, it's not something that he's like so much worse, but it's definitely getting dangerous, and I think it's getting also trickier. Closer we get to the time control, to the time trouble. Because one more time, let's remind our viewers, there is no second time control. So there is only 90 minutes for the whole game and 30 seconds increment starting from the move 1. And if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years ago in Sharjah Masters, Praggnanandhaa won the first round because his opponent thought that there would be 30 minutes increment.
Yeah,
And he was thinking on his move, and then at some moment Praggnanandhaa was showing, okay, your time ran out, and he was like, but I have 30 minutes. No, it's not. It's a different time control. So players, it's all they get. So on one hand, it's tricky, you don't get extra time, but I think it also helps produce better chess and helps players in long term as well to improve the time travel issues, because many players have some chronicle time travel issues, like 𝐒𝐤𝐡𝐞𝐢𝐤𝐡, for example.
Yeah, and one more practical advice: just check the regulations before the tournament,
Or come to the technical
or
meeting.
come to the technical meeting at least. Yeah. If you know. By the way, 𝐒𝐤𝐤 is current US senior champion. He won this year, like a couple of months ago, I think. He won the championship. So he was the coach of United Arab Emirates national team just a year ago. I mean, at the Olympiad in Budapest. Yeah, he was the coach of the national team. So yeah, and now he plays on the board one. Okay.
Okay, I think it's a good moment for us to go back to the Superstar tournaments and to board 5, because there is something going on there, and I think also evaluation bar just switched off, so we have to turn it back on just for our viewers. Oh my god, what is going on?
Well, we didn't expect so much. So it's an exchange down, and it's just an exchange down.
Exchange down and exchange down.
I have nothing to add. It's just an exchange down and no compensation.
Wait. How did it happen?
Yeah, this is exactly after the move knight h4. So as you said, and knight c6. Okay, we said bishop e6, but knight queen h5, queen e8, queen takes e8.
He's giving up a pawn.
No, this was black transmission. Well.
Okay, there was some transmission error.
Can we check the board?
Yeah, we have to check.
Because I don't believe it happened. I don't believe this is the position. So after queen takes e8.
According to position, I see there is even.
So probably black took rook a to e8. Yeah, probably it's not the position. It's not the position.
I don't even see that the queens were traded, because I see even. No, there is a bishop on c2.
So knight takes f5.
1 second.
Yeah, no, don't believe this is the position.
So there are
two rooks,
knight and the bishop.
Yeah, knight takes f5. Yeah, actually we can put the moves on the board. Knight e5.
So this is what happened. Yeah.
Knight e5 and bishop c2. This is the current position. And it's balanced. Let's say. Yeah, it's not. White is not that winning. White is not that winning. White is just better, thanks to, let's say, strong knight on f5. I mean, better pawn structure, but it's not +6.
It's plus 0.6.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But we got scared a little bit for a moment what happened there. But definitely, I mean, also looking at the positions of the king, as we were mentioning in the other board of the top board of the Masters tournament.
Yeah.
Also here, looking at the king on g8 and the pawn on h6.
Yeah, basically the pawn on h6 is a weakness, because queens are off of the board, so no big danger to be checkmated. But in the end game, let's say, I mean, it's a 3 against 1. It's much easier to create a pass pawn than 4 against 2. Okay, this small detail, maybe not that important now, but who knows? Yeah, maybe in some moves. And white can take this bishop. I mean, bishop's pair plus better pawn structure. I mean, white is better.
And also looking at the time situation, like 15 or 13 minutes difference in the time, of course, brings so much of a difference for Spanish grandmaster in this position. Comfortable situation on the clock, and for Pranav, who yesterday won against Nihal Sar, and today might be another. The game is going another way, but of course, you shouldn't say anything before the game is over, because so many things can happen.
Yeah, but today I believe if he escapes, he will be just very lucky in this position.
Yeah, because yesterday some players escaped, right? It was, I think, Sam Shankland escaped.
Yeah. And I mean, it was a weird maneuver with the rook on e4.
It was crazy, yes. So it's still a couple of players escaped yesterday, although we were thinking, oh my god, looks like so many. Yeah, I'm just quickly checking against Narayan, and yeah, and all the rest didn't escape because it looked like Amin would escape. By the way, yeah, Amin, it looked like at some moment Amin would escape against Motilov, but he didn't. Yeah, yeah, that was a tough round one, but maybe
Yeah.
you see something interesting.
Now we're just checking for results. We have a draw in on board 20, Volokhitin Kozak. Yeah, and
to stop the bleeding.
yeah,
Just
exactly. So what is Vasily doing?
he's on the last
legend,
board, I think.
The legend is playing on the last board.
He's up on the clock.
Yeah, but pawn down.
Let me put board up. By the way, we are at the
Yeah.
board 5. I'm just trying to see if we can see Ivanchuk. No, he's
I mean,
not
we
there.
can't miss the legend.
Yeah, of course. Never.
It's
Yesterday he was getting such a great position. I mean, almost. I mean, he had huge chances to win yesterday, but then he blundered, unfortunately, and yeah, just
yeah.
got into this.
So we have the Caro-Kann 2 knights variation. Okay, very solid position for Ivanchuk. White is trying to use his bishop's pair. Aha, Ivanchuk actually sacrificed the pawn here.
Oh,
So yeah, he could play just a simple move like bishop e7 and continue, but here he sacrificed the pawn, takes bishop a7, but of course the compensation is huge, I would say. Yeah, a3, this pawn might be hanging, the king is not safe. Rook to d6, and yeah, I think that black is playing for advantage here. I mean,
definitely, yeah. Isolated pawn on d4, weak pawn on b2. This pawn on a4 is brilliantly played, like just fixing these 2 pawns on the queen side.
yeah, black can double on b, but black can just put more pressure on d4 by queen b6. Maybe
also, king is open for white.
Yeah, maybe rook d5 and h5, trying to open the h file against the king. Okay, so Ivanchuk is better. He's also better on time, much better on time.
Ooh.
like
Maybe let's go to the current position because it's not. Maybe let's go
updated,
forward
yeah.
to the move. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it was here, and that
Yes.
yeah, a couple of moves after rook c6 and rook d1 and rook c4. Okay.
So one pair of rook got traded,
Yeah.
and maybe now h5. By the way.
Maybe now h5. Yeah, good idea. But I was a little bit worried. Can white try to escape by, let's say, giving the pawn back and saying, okay, I just want to make a draw. Not sure about.
Just want to suffer in the rook endgame.
Maybe I'm just missing the move queen f3. And suddenly all the pawns are under attack. f4, g4, d4. Yeah, so it's not that easy. It's not that easy, so yeah, it's time for h5. Time for h5.
Then what do? Do you take? Do you push g5?
Well, I wanted actually to take and play rook c5. Let's say take, queen takes, and rook to c5. I don't know.
Can you take the pawn on a4?
Well,
Just to
why not?
check what's going on.
Yeah, probably nothing wrong with taking the pawn. Maybe rook c8, and the rook is just coming to
The first rank. Yeah?
for first or second, if you allow me. Let's say queen f5, rook c2, or queen d1, rook c2.
No, because location of the king on h2 and like how open it is, of course, it's it really helps black into finding ideas. Although there are 2 pawns, right, on b and a file, you have to watch out because those can make difference in the endgame.
It's true. It's true. But how do you? By the way, how white stops the move queen d1 or queen? I don't know, queen d5, queen f5.
Okay,
It's
queen
not easy.
d2, but okay, like it's,
And then queen comes to f3
oh.
or queen to f5.
Yeah, now queen f5, your
Queen
idea.
f5
Rook c2 is coming.
and rook a5, still rook c2. And black
yeah,
wins the-
black is winning.
Yeah, black is winning. So it's not easy. It's not easy. I believe this is.
It's a very tough situation now for
Yeah.
Indian grandmaster.
So h5, maybe just rook b8. By the way, it's another option. Rook b8, rook d3. Rook b8, rook b3, rook f3, or rook d3.
Or queen d3, yeah.
Or
like
queen d3,
any
yeah.
moves, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and this is a good position to get with such a time advantage to just press in the end game, press on the weaknesses of white, and something probably what 𝐸𝐤𝐡 is enjoying right now. Any other board which
Well, can we
catches-
check again? Okay, we didn't check for a very long time. Salim's game.
And meanwhile, I'll put the board one for the video.
Yes,
So we're
and
watching.
Salim plays with Pishot. Okay, he was a pawn up from the opening. He was a pawn up from the opening, but
Something happened.
yes, bishop to c4, bishop to d7, and bishop to c6. Actually, this was my advice, so
He followed.
he followed my advice. So surprisingly, I don't believe
You were
this.
saying.
Yeah, I don't believe this is a good idea. Okay, bishop d5, queen c2, queen e2 takes, knight d5. So, so here he decided to give the pawn back, yeah? So probably after knight takes d5, knight takes d5, he was worried about this, yeah? I don't know.
Yeah, of course, and
Yeah.
it's very tough.
So instead he just gave the pawn back, check, rook d2 castles, g3. Well, I was thinking maybe white can take another pawn, just grabbing everything. But then rook b8 and rook takes b2. Yeah, maybe we can show this variation. So queen takes b7, rook b8, and if white takes one more pawn, then rook b2 at the end. And now, yeah.
The king is overloaded.
Yeah. So g3, c6, intermezzo. Okay, nice intermezzo. Queen b3, queen h6. Rook e1, rook to d8, yeah? And rook takes the pawn, and queen to h2. Queen to e3, yeah? White managed to centralize the pieces. Okay, so I have two more moves.
Two more moves, yeah.
Queen h3, b3. So material is equal, but white's pieces are better centralized, yeah? White is controlling the only open file, the e file. And white can just make progress here, let's say, with king b2, c4, d5, and while black's play, I don't believe it's so easy, yeah? So maybe like trading a pair of rook would be like an achievement. Like queen to d7, maybe rook e8, and he did play the move h6. Okay, h6 is generally a good move, just preventing all the weakness.
Yeah, because also I'm thinking that maybe taking this pawn or giving up the pawn on h3 from white, it was also some idea later on to bring the pieces on the h file to create an attack, because anyway, although it's already, I mean, we can count it as an endgame, right?
Yeah.
Because so many pieces were traded, there are still ideas for attack, there is still queen on the board, and we have opposite side castling, and I think white's king is safer.
Yes,
so much
this is
safer.
what we can say, yeah, and yeah, but mainly I believe white's advantage is exactly controlling the only open file, plus the possibility of creating the pass pawn in the center. And black's play is not that clear. I mean, what do you do with the black pieces? I mean, if let's say king to b2, queen d7, white can prevent. Oh, there is rook e7 here, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, rook e7, of course.
Rook
Rook e7, and yeah, so white is slightly better probably, and what do we have? Time is okay. Time is more or less equal.
Saleh will try to
Yeah.
get back in the game here, but of course, like not such a huge advantage for white anyway. So probably it's a good moment for us to go one more time back to the board number 1. And
do we see? Yeah. So just yeah. Oh, so many trades.
oh,
Okay, knight a4.
what happened?
Preventing c5, but not really. Taking. Queen takes c4. Queen d5. Queen takes. Knight takes. Bishop to d2. Famous bishop's pair. Rook b1. Rook b8. Rook a2. Yeah. Rook a1. I mean, why do we do that?
Maybe he wants to free the rook on the a2, so that after rook a1, rook c2.
Yeah, this pawn hangs now, and probably white didn't want to play a4 because it allows black to play bishop b4 or knight b4, yeah? So probably knight to b4.
Yeah, targeting the rook.
Yeah, or maybe bishop to b4. I mean, just trading the bishops.
Maybe bishop c4 here.
Oh, I just blundered the exchange. Okay, good.
That happens.
Good that I'm not playing chess anymore. Yeah. Okay, so a4, by the way, I don't know. Looks like it's just a playable move. Okay, rook a1, a5, bishop c4, rook b7, rook c2, bishop f8, and bishop takes d5. Okay, so white is playing for a small but stable advantage. And a4, yeah? So there is a isolated pawn. I mean, pawn on a4 is fixed, but on a5, but I don't believe this is a big advantage. Black can anytime play bishop b4.
And trade.
Yeah. Okay, I think black should hold this one. I mean, I don't believe it's white's advantage is. Yeah, I mean, like, let's say the worst scenario for black would be like trading this, rooks. I mean, white wins the pawn, giving this, and then we'll have 4 against 3, the rooks end game famously.
Yeah.
Rook 4 against rook 3, and okay. At this level, this is draw. I mean.
Of course, yeah. So yeah, kind of a peaceful game so far. What is happening on the second board? Let's move on to Chaparinov against Muradli.
Wow.
Oh.
G5, last move G5. Okay, so knight takes D4, he took on D4.
And we were discussing this game, that this can go very sharp.
Yes, queen to B7, king to G1, just prophylactic against any checks on the big diagonal. E6, knight B4, and rook A8. Rook E1 and G5.
And look at the time, by the way.
Viral,
what is this?
Yeah.
30 minutes for Chaparinov. Earlier we were here, it was 50 minutes for Chaparinov, 20 minutes for Muradli, but now it's only 3 minutes for Muradli in this position.
And you know, the move like G5, it shows that black starts to play just all in. I mean, this is like last chance, yeah? So, because probably he considers that positionally, I mean, he's much worse. I mean, probably no time to just trying to, I don't know, to regroup the pieces, yeah, because here you need time to. And he decided to go all in with G5. Okay, very interesting idea. I mean, actually, this is like one of the methods to play, yeah. Okay, you lost the positional battle, yeah, but still you have some tactical idea. The queen is well placed on B7. I mean, on this long diagonal. Okay, maybe the knight can jump. Yeah, but okay. So let's see how Chaparinov will react to G5 move. I mean, let's say white can just take, rook takes, taking on G5, knight G5, and queen F6. I was thinking.
Yeah, looks.
And no, but takes the pawn, queen F3.
Knight.
All the queen hangs, yeah.
Knight C5, I see.
Knight C5. Okay, knight C5 for D5 and queen takes H5. This is what I wanted to play, and just take the pawn back. The king is open, and okay, it should be better for white. I mean,
yeah,
the chances
with the king open.
Yeah. So G5. This is the current position, and white is taking his time. Okay, what else white can do?
Well, it's a good question.
Maybe I can just leave like this and just.
Of course, you don't want. Maybe just to highlight to our viewers, what is it white doesn't want to do? White doesn't want to take on G5.
Yeah, I mean, not at least immediately.
Immediately, yes.
Well, can we just play a move like king H2? I mean, like if you take on H4, now it just helps white. So yeah, then this G file is open. Well, if not, I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe king H8 is not possible.
King H8
is not legal.
Yeah.
But also, D6 is hanging. But of course, there is rook C1, queen E4.
But first of all, why not queen takes D6?
Maybe rook C1.
Rook takes C1, rook takes C1.
Queen E4.
And queen takes E4. Yeah.
By the way, then what about taking on c8 first and then taking on d6?
Okay, let's try this one after g5.
Improving, we are always improving.
Yes, rook takes c8, rook takes c8, queen takes d6, yeah?
The pawn is a pawn, as you were saying.
Yes. Aha, and now finally we can play your idea, like taking, and king h8 now. And if queen d4, f6, but it looks a little bit...
But now also queen e5, queen h5.
Oh yes, just everything is just losing. Okay, so then how do you, maybe just a simple move like taking the knight f8, follow it by knight g6.
Just trying to build the defense.
Yeah, and also attacking the pawn on h7. If white protects with queen g3, maybe queen e7, double attack. Knight on b4 hangs, pawn on h4. Rook can come to c3.
But of course, there are like 2 against 1 on the queen side. So this would be something what white will try to push for an advantage.
Yeah, and it's in an endgame, but so far the king is open. Both kings are open.
Both kings, somehow it's a strange position.
Yeah. Okay, so after g5, white is thinking. I start to like this g5 idea because you use your chance, because if you play slow here or just defend the pawn d6, you might just lose with no chances.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so
it's good dynamic try in the position because it's either now or just long time suffering.
Yeah, now or never. Yeah.
Now or never. Yeah. So Chaparino is taking his time. Of course, he understands. He's of course in the lead on the clock, and also maybe I can get some chances in the position. So it's also a critical moment for him to react accordingly. So what do you think? Shall we go on with the board number 3? Because we have such a
exactly.
development.
So knight f3 was played by Mishra. b6, okay, simply protecting the pawn.
Yes.
Bishop c4. Okay, it's just a possible move. Probably white wants to play rook e4. Next, attacking king g7. Okay, it's against the move d6. It's kind of logical play. d6 anyway. Knight e6, and here white went for exchange sacrifice. So takes, rook takes, pawn takes, and queen takes e6.
Yeah, but the pawn on d6 is so strong.
Yes.
And also knight with the queen.
Yes, but imagine my rook on c1 and queen on f4.
If it would be possible in one move, yeah?
Exactly, yes. And then all discussions about coordinations of queen and the knight is just, everything is just words. Okay, let's do it. So check.
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. And queen to d2 is just a blunder, okay?
Maybe queen b4.
Queen to b4, yeah.
a4.
Yeah. But then check and queen takes f6. And this is game over.
And then there is no queen f4
and this is game over.
This was just a dream.
That was just a dream. Okay.
What
then
about queen f5?
Very good. Yeah, this is the move. It's not really. But why?
Because queen e7 and
king h6 and then queen e3 check. Oh yes. Yeah.
So king has to go backwards.
And then they play d7. And then queen f4 check, and then g3, and then pawn takes g3 and king g2.
Wow. Oh.
That was easy. That was easy to calculate.
Yeah, king g2 is very important, of course.
Yeah.
It's the only move here, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so...
and this is how the players are calculating. They go in the line, they're like, oh, very nice, and then at the end, one move and it saves the day.
So after rook c1, by the way, how do we continue here? Okay, queen f5 is losing, queen d4 is losing, everything is losing. You know what? Can I play just a calm move like g5? Do I have time for it?
So you want to eliminate the threat of queen e7?
Yeah, and also,
take on f6.
No, too slow. Yeah. Okay. I give up.
So queen, but what about queen f5? We were discussing.
Queen
f5,
it doesn't
queen
e7 check. Queen to c5. And if you give me like queen e7 check, the queen is, there is no d7 because it's a pin. But once again, and there is no queen e3 check. Let's try. Okay, still, I mean, no. And if d7, there is queen c7 check maybe. But then probably the same scenario. Queen c7 check, g3 takes king g2.
The computer actually likes it for black.
And likes it for black, yeah? Okay,
Maybe,
so queen
maybe
to
rook c2, no, or rook c2 here.
rook c.
Ah, but queen e7.
Queen e7, but this is not the end. Rook c2, queen e7, or this is the end. This is the end.
This is
the
like
end. Yeah.
Adelson.
Okay, and check and something on e1, yeah?
Ah, yeah.
The knight, the bishop. Well, okay, and still we didn't find the only move here, or the best move
I was
here.
thinking maybe there could be some ideas to bring the queen to the d1 or f1 with a check on checkmate on h1, but I'm just not sure how to do it. Queen b5, queen
Yeah,
a4.
but imagine your queen is on d1 and I take knight h4. And what is your next?
Yeah, there is nothing.
Yeah. Now, you know what? Maybe rook d1 here. Now the rook is not under queen e3 check. And if d7, maybe queen to d5.
Okay, let's hope for it. No. Oh, yes. You see.
Okay. Finally, just by guessing, we found the move. Yeah, so now the idea is if d7, then queen d5 and black is winning. No queen d5. Okay. Chess is not an easy game. Ah, the queen c5. Okay, okay. Now it's logical. Now it's logical. Stopping all the checks and now the queen c7 check is coming. So this is winning. Yeah. So probably white should start with queen e7 check in this position. A king to h6.
That looks logical.
And not very.
Ah, there is a checkmate on
and
h8.
then we should go to
g8.
To g8.
Is there a difference, g8 or h8? Let's try maybe just
h8 is queen f6 check.
Ah, yeah, okay. Then it's the only move.
Yeah, and if queen takes f6, now probably queen f5. I don't know why, but it looks like the only move.
Queen f5, queen f4. With the same idea like.
Yeah, yeah, and now probably no time for. There is no time for queen d8 and queen e7. I don't know. Okay, but it shows that how complicated the position is, yeah. So and if he plays
basically the only moves were leading to this equal evaluation from both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
One mistake.
Yeah. By the way, queen f5 was played in the game without check, without rook c1 check, and now queen e7 leads to. After king h6.
Oh, okay, maybe it's trickier because now d7 feels like very tempting move, but here now rook c1, and you cannot go king h2 because then we will have the same situation.
Yes, but yeah, it's a much better version. Okay, black here can take on b3 or take on f3, and it's checkmate. Yeah, no time
queen
for
f8, king is escaping
to g5 or h5. So after queen f5. Queen e7 check, king h6, d7. I was trying, is this a draw or not? Like rook e1, queen d7.
Oh.
Can you, I mean, can black, I don't know.
Rook d1, d8.
Just promoting, yeah. Yeah, probably there is nothing better than rook takes
and queen
knight.
a5?
Queen a5. Okay, in the worst scenario I can, I know. Maybe b4.
Ah, and then by black is losing, yeah?
Yeah, because the knight is protected. I mean, the pawn is protected by queen.
Yes.
So, yeah, rook takes
queen
c1.
b1, sorry? Queen b1?
Queen b1, king f1. Queen d3 check.
Maybe repetition.
Repetition, yeah. It's also one of...
oh, look.
yeah, okay, good game. So queen e3 check. g5. King f1. And rook d1.
And suddenly the pawn is not promoting.
Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting position. Very interesting position with a lot of possibilities for both players. So queen f5. What is the time situation? Both players are Yeah, it happened.
Around 10 minutes. Oh,
Yeah, queen e7 check, king h6. Yeah, this is the current position.
so we might see rook c1 now.
You might see the whole variation, I would say. Rook d7, rook c1, knight e1.
Yeah, because one more time, this king h2 would be not logical. So let's see if we see this d7 move. What do you think? Shall we stick here a bit?
Yeah. No, okay. No, we can,
let's just move.
yeah, just move because probably.
Yes.
Okay, we have the game on board number 4, Zemlyansky Suleimanli, and here around this position with queen b5, we left here bishop d7, queen to b1, e4. He did play for this idea, rook e8 first, and bishop f5. Yeah. Yeah, black is just much better, and c5. All the ideas from Nimzo. Queen c7 plus king side attack. Okay, so king g1 back, bishop to d7, queen to c2, no repetition. Queen c8, black is trying to sacrifice on h3, knight f1. Now targeting the pawn d5, pawn c4, d5 was played, bishop f5, knight to g3, bishop h7.
Just a great play by black.
Yeah. Queen c1, and probably we need the knight on e5 now, yeah, to transfer. So knight to d7, yes, exactly. Followed by knight e5, knight e3, or knight c4.
Yes, throughout this last 10 moves, the position of black just improved drastically.
Yeah. So probably white will be forced to give the bishop. I mean, just let's say this, bishop e5, rook e5.
Yeah, because bishops also don't really make so much sense in this position. It's closed position, and they don't have targets. Bishops like to have targets, and bishop on e3, as you were mentioning, it doesn't have any squares to go.
Yeah. Okay, knight d7. This is the current position. And probably white is kind of forced to give the bishop.
And then when bishop is gone, so there is no more bishop pair advantage, but the long-term weakness of the c4, c3 double pawns is there. So there will be always some pressure on c4 and c3.
Yeah, and white cannot move the other bishop, let's say bishop g4, because c4 hangs. So...
and what about the clock situation? We see 12 against 8 minutes, so around the same. Of course, it's always better to have more time, but for the side for whom position is more comfortable, even lower time is not an issue. Like yesterday, Motilov is 1 or 2 minutes all the time was creating very nice ideas. So here it can be also the case.
So knight d7, and yeah, by the way, we have one more result. I mean, it's a draw on board number 8 between Sadhvani and Narayanan.
Indian clash.
Yes, and let's go to...
Sadhvani played yesterday very short draw, and Narayanan was pushing. Yeah, this was this game against Shankland. Let's go probably to the board number 5 to round up our top boards in the Superstars tournament.
So bishop c2, we left somewhere here, knight to c4, knight takes g7. Black is not in time to take intermediate on e3 because knight takes e8, rook hangs, so king to g7, check, and bishop to c3, yeah?
Just bishop pair and 3 against 1.
Yeah, just comfortable advantage for white. Rook g8, g3.
And maybe now knight e5, knight f3.
Knight e5 and knight f3. Very logical. So the knight is coming to f3.
Should you play something like f4, or can you do it?
f4, knight f3 check, and then you want to take and bishop b3, d5. Well, I was trying to play this move. If it works, I'm not sure. So if it works,
to pin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stopping all black's ideas. If bishop takes f3, bishop e5. If knight takes f3, then probably rook f3, bishop f3, and rook f1. And if rook e3, then bishop d4 or bishop d2. I don't know. It's one of the move. Yeah. So what after f3? Well, because black is not forced to take on f3, black can just continue with h5 maybe.
But then you stop this knight f3 threat, and
and white just can continue. I don't know. King g2 maybe looks a little bit dangerous. Actually, maybe this is a bad move because after knight g4, white might regret about this. Yeah, interesting position. Interesting position. So white is bishop spare, pawn advantage on the king side, but black got some counterplay. Black got some counterplay thanks to a very active, very strong bishop on d5. Now the knight can jump to e5. Maybe black can play immediately here, by the way, bishop f3. And if bishop b3, then d5. Yeah, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. I believe that Pranav improved his position. I mean, the current position, I believe it's already not so simple.
Yeah, definitely is not. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we check the board number 6? Yeah, and he did play bishop f3.
Bishop f3 is on the board.
Yeah, one on the board. Okay, knight. Probably he saw that
he's
knight.
Preparing, yes.
Yeah. So the bishop is well placed on f3. I mean, it's not easy to attack this bishop. I don't know, maybe rook. I was trying, once again, this some cheap tactics like rook e1. Let's say d5. Looks like normal move, yeah, or not? Bishop e2. Bishop e2. I take bishop d3.
As we wanted to
this
try.
was one trick, and I have a couple of more tricks ready.
More tricks.
Yeah, let's say you play d5.
Okay.
I don't know. Looks logical to me.
Yes.
And now rook e3. Another trick.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
It's the same idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. To use the pin.
And similar position to that. Rook e3 and bishop d4.
Bishop d4 or bishop d1. Yeah. And yeah, actually, this trick I wanted just to
highlight the others.
Yeah, and also to force this bishop to move from here. I don't know.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Aesthetically, it's very beautiful move here.
Rook e1, rook e3.
First allowing bishop e2, then playing rook e3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it might happen. So the bishop is on f3 right now. Bishop d1 has been played, so not rook e1, offering a trade.
Yeah. Okay, trading. Nothing wrong with trading the bishops. Bishop d1, rook e2, let's say. Rook on the second rank, this can be a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. And then we are getting into this endgame where there is going to be battle between this bishop and the knight. And of course, usually in the endgames where there are pawns on the both sides, bishop is a stronger piece. So
yeah. So probably white should just trade one pair of rook, just to trade an active rook. Okay, rook e8, still not easy. Yeah, still not easy. King f1. Can white play this move?
Then rook has to go back, or
to c2.
Yes, rook c2 is also possible.
Trying to keep my rook on the second rank.
It can be also tricky because there are no squares for the rook.
Yeah.
But of course, it's not possible to trap it. So.
Okay, and then we'll have the draw here, like takes,
rook
check,
e1.
and rook e2. But actually after rook c1, I'm not. I can just go. Yeah, I'm not forced. Actually, you are, because knight a3.
This is a big threat. Yeah.
Well, bishop d2 still.
Wait.
Knight a3.
The line goes on.
Yes. Just.
And now, 1 second. So.
Yeah, but black can simply push pawns, like let's say. c5, d5, d4. Who's faster? Yeah. Okay, so bishop d1, bishop takes d1, rook takes d1 happened. Yeah, so rook e2. Yeah, I believe that black's position is not like dangerous as before. Yeah, so black got his counter chances.
But also look at the clock. 2 minutes only for white against 10 for black. So what do you think if you were in such situation or in this game? Which side would you pick, black or white?
Definitely black. Definitely black, because I mean, black is controlling the only file. Imagine, just give me a couple of attempts to play c5, d5, d4. And I mean, white is very far with the pawns, yeah, with just pushing pawns on the king side. Yeah, no, black, I believe, is practically black can be even better here.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, of course. Okay, so would you like to also check the lower boards a bit, board number 6 and 7?
Board number 6, this
Maybe
is
just
the
to
game
see,
of
okay.
Mohammed with
Oh, wait.
black is a pawn up.
Oh,
Black is a
something
pawn
happened.
up. Let's go to, yeah, around here. Yeah, this was the Joko piano, and
And
black
this
did play
finally
d5,
did
exactly, for, this is the idea, the main idea in Joko piano. Rook h5. Okay, very interesting and very creative play of Alexander Motylev.
I think he was inspired by win yesterday, so.
Yeah. Bishop e6. By the way, Alexander is, I mean, I probably worked, I mean, with Motylev probably most of the time in my life, let's say my chess career. We made probably more than, let's say, 10 training camps.
Wow.
So yeah.
Amazing.
Bishop to d7, knight f3, queen f4. Well, it looks like a very quiet endgame.
Yeah, very peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful but blunder. So when you play, let's say, an overactive move, and you just lose the pawn.
Oh.
No, it is clearly a
this-
blunder.
Clearly, because after that
Yeah, yeah.
it was a move. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a blunder. Just a blunder pawn.
Wait, but why is it? So what was the mistake here? So just this blunder, because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
computer
it's-
somehow is saying
Well-
it's still
well,
foldable?
It is called, maybe the rook and game is foldable. I mean, take, and then you start attacking the pawns, and then take, maybe.
So he had to take first.
Yeah, but once again, this is not easy to takes, and black is a pawn up.
Okay, if this position didn't have pawns on the c file, I think that there would be decent chances to fold, but
Yeah.
with a c pawn is
Yeah, c
it's just
pawn.
extra target.
Exactly, and let's imagine the position. Let's just play c5, rook on d4, and you should just stay with the rook passive till the end of the game. And while black can just improve the position by king f5, g5, h5, e5, h4, g4. So I think the position is just lost. I mean, c5 here, or maybe first you can play king f6. Okay, actually it doesn't matter. Yeah. c5, let's say, king f2, king f6, king e3, rook d4, and the game is over. I mean, just push the pawns, h5, g5, h4, g4, e4. Yeah, it's,
And you know, we are comparing to the yesterday's endgame which Motylev had. I mean, this looks like straightforward. I mean, this is so much easier than yesterday's rook against 2 pieces, or how was it? Yeah, and it was.
yeah, that was like tactical endgame with a lot of possibilities. This one is just.
So we might see Motylev scoring second point.
Yeah.
2 out of 2.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll play board 1 next round. Amazing. Would you say, shall we check on Zhu Jiner? How is she doing? Because she had amazing start yesterday. Today she's facing the countryman Liu Shanglei.
And we just discussed, the position. So she took the bishop and castle h3, a5. Yeah, correct, a4. I mean, quite logical play. You get rid of your weak pawn a, knight e4, f6. Okay, it's just a complicated game. 2 knights against 2 bishops, yeah? They have this...
this fight.
Yeah.
Bishop or a knight.
Rook e6, queen to g4, yeah?
And by the way, we have a first result on the top 5 boards. It's the board number 1. So Sugirov against Jacobson ended in a draw.
Yeah,
so
as we
yes.
said, that maximum that white can get is the 4 against 3 endgame, but even this one, I mean, even that endgame white didn't manage to get. So this is the final position.
Yeah.
It is a draw. Yeah, and back to the game of
Zhu Jiner, yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So we have this is the current position. So white is intending to just to play king b3, king takes a3 to win the pawn. And how black, I mean, it's not easy to find how black can stop this, like king b3, king a3. Maybe just, okay, let's try with rook e4, king b3, rook d4, but just rook c3. Yeah, I don't see how black can stop this king b3, king a3 idea. So, okay, I believe white is in, well, okay, not lost, I mean, not, but in a very unpleasant position. Maybe somehow targeting the g2 pawn by playing rook to g6, let's say f3, and now rook e6 back. This might be an idea. And if king b3, then rook e3.
Yeah, and then how do you defend? So this
Yeah,
from
if
the
this,
spin.
then d4, and if rook to d2, maybe some, well, c5 ideas.
Oh, c5, c4.
Yeah, and takes, bishop takes, and everything is protected. The pawn on a3. I mean, black is active, and the counterplay is enough. So, yeah, once again, king c3, and maybe just first rook g6, forcing white to play f3, and then rook back.
Yeah,
so rook
good
g6,
idea, yes. Yeah.
f3, and rook e6 back, trying to get to the counter chance. King d4 now is just. This might be unpleasant.
Oh, the king is also a piece, yeah? Especially in the endgame. I was told at some moment that the king can be worth 4 pawns in the endgame. So how strong it can be, almost as strong as the rook. So
yeah, and this is probably the case.
yes.
This is probably the case. Yeah,
You cannot defend the pawn, by the way, on d5.
Yeah.
c6 will fall.
c6, rook c6. I was trying to but no tricks. No tricks there.
Yeah.
So then it's not so easy. So the threat is not only king to b3 and take the pawn, but also king d4. So then okay, then let's try with rook e4, king b3, and how can we? Yeah, because now rook d4, rook c3, I did not find any, let's say, continuations here for black. Can black try? I don't know. It's like a desperado. Looks like desperado, but let's say g5. If f3, then rook e3, transposing to. And if king takes, then g4. If hg, then rook g4. I don't know. At least there is a target here. f3. Yeah, still, I mean, white's play is so easy, just king b3 and push the pawn. And push the pawn.
It's super tough. Yes, also this A and B pawns are very strong potential later. It will be so tough to stop them. So, but 2 minutes on the clock for white, so there is still chances to put a pressure.
Yeah, black is thinking, okay. Georgianir is thinking. Okay, this is interesting to follow. So
Cyril, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the, maybe to see, we saw how the first board finished, maybe for a very short break, like something of like 5 minutes, and then come back because players are getting to the time trouble?
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Dear viewers, we're going for a very, very short break, for our final break, I think, because the games are spicing up, everywhere is a time trouble, but more action is going to come from Fujairah Global Chess Championship. We'll be right back. Welcome back, dear viewers. We're approaching the most exciting phase, the time travel, here at the second round of the first Fujairah Global Chess Championship, and we are your hosts for today. My name is 𝐒𝐤𝐤 and I'm joined by Grandmaster 𝐒𝐤𝐤.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, we are having so many exciting games, and in most of the games we're already, even some players are under 1 minute. So let's dive in immediately, and I think one of the most exciting ones is the board number 5, because Pranav made a huge progress here. Not only he bailed out, but he is better now.
So yeah, around here, yeah, this is what we just discussed, that practically black is better because black is more active. I mean, he can push the pawns like d5, c5, and actually black is just much faster. a4, c5, and also look at the time difference. Yeah, it's black is under 1 minute, 96 and d4. Yeah, everything is just black is just pushing his pawns. I don't know, it's just the next move is just the king on d5. Then black can switch pieces, like move the rook on e8, knight on e4, or just can continue with a6, b5, c4, and creating two passed pawns here. Yeah, it's a space advantage. I mean, black's pieces are more active, and
yeah, and two more moves are played.
Yeah,
h3.
Yeah, we can go. Yeah. So h3. Okay, this is the right idea. White is trying to push his own pawns. What about g4 here? Let's say takes, and king d5. Yeah.
Oh, that is such an active king.
Yeah. Apparently, this is not the best move. Not maybe even a good move.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah.
Okay, rook h8. Maybe it's a more direct move.
Rook h8 with rook h3 ideas.
Yeah, rook h8, f5 check, just king e5 or king d5. I don't know. e5, d5.
Okay, e5.
E5.
Yeah, there is no bishop.
There is no bishop f4. Maybe from e5, black controls more squares, and
yeah, such tough position for white. And remember, you were just mentioning a few moments ago that you would prefer this position for black, and it all turned around.
Okay, so h3, and black played the move king to d5 here. Sorry, it was rook e1, not g4, but rook e1. Rook e1, king d5, rook takes e4, knight takes e4, and white is to move. So bishop e1 or bishop f c1, where to retreat the bishop, or actually maybe you don't need it. Yeah? Okay, what g4, knight g5, king back g3, still everything is under control. Well, I know.
Looks like something should be there.
Yeah. Well, can I play this move? I don't know. It looks illogical because.
Including knight e2 or without?
No. Just without, because I have this trick. If king e4, I have check on e8, and
game over.
The rook is trapped. Is the rook trapped? I mean, king e2,
knight g3. No, knight g3, rook g3. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, in the worst scenario, black can just take and play and take on d2, take on f4. But I believe it should be something more than that. Knight d2. No, sorry, knight f2.
Knight f2.
Knight f2. No, just rook g3. Yeah. No, this was. What else? It's just. Hang on. How is bishop c3? Bishop c3. Rook e8. King d2. Well, but this is just winning. Just knight c3, bishop c3, d takes c3. Rook e8, king d2.
Rook e8, king d2.
Yeah, no, but this is just winning. I mean, pawn is too close to promotion. I mean.
These two pawns are very strong, but they are too far.
Yeah. It's just no. This is just game over.
Yeah, it looks just great.
Yeah. So bishop c1. Yeah, not king e2, but bishop. Bishop not g4, but bishop c1. And now, okay, black can try the similar idea. By the way, can I play here c4?
With the same idea.
Yeah, I understand. It might be not the same. Take, and maybe just rook to d1, yeah?
Because of the bishop.
Yeah, now probably black will start to regret this decision. So then Okay, a6, b5, c4, or this is too slow.
But I think this is something what's going also through the head of Pranav right now, where to go and how to continue here. Because the c4 is tempting, but you have to find, as you were mentioning, the right moment for it, because it's the wrong moment and then the whole advantage will be gone.
Can I go again a tactical way? Okay, again, not our pieces. takes, and rook takes g4.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure. Rook takes d4 is to calculate here, but I believe it's
But king is too close to the pawns.
Yeah, takes, king g4 and d3, and just winning the piece.
Yeah, pawn is just too
Yeah.
far advanced.
So maybe there is a tactical solution in this position.
So did it happen?
I know, he played a6. He did play a6. Wow. Okay, slow approach, yeah?
Yes.
So no tactical win by rook g8. I believe this was actually possible. And g4 and rook takes
Yes,
g4.
yes, definitely.
I mean, you have 6 minutes. I mean, you calculate usually. Well, a6 is probably not bad.
g4 and
G4,
now
G4, H4, and now b5, yeah?
he's going slowly. b5,
So A, C, B,
c4.
yeah. And b5, and then you take. But here there is a big danger that maybe one day white managed to sacrifice the bishop for the pawns. Let's say bishop to b2.
And then now you cannot push forward.
You cannot push, yeah.
But then what do you do? Is there rook h8 again?
Yeah, rook h8 is always, I mean, king g2, I'm trying to cover in the squares, but maybe just rook g4, rook h4.
Ah, rook h4, and now you have problems with the pawns.
I'm just losing all. I mean, I was trying to, but no time for b4. No, it's too far. But yeah, just winning.
What a round 2 happening. By the way, we have an update, the result on the board number 3. It's a draw in the game Abhimanyu Mishra against Andrew Hong.
Yeah, this is actually after this, it was clear that the game ends in a draw. I mean,
that's what you
this is what
also
exactly
mentioning.
happened, yeah.
Yes, just take.
Queen d7.
But yeah, we were mentioning this game of Pranav on the board number 5. And one more time, we had yesterday him beating Michal Sarin, and now he has huge chances. What happened?
Yeah, b5. Everything happened. Yeah.
Everything happened.
Yeah, but not to the rook h8. Yeah. So if bishop b2, rook h8 is just transposition to our line.
But now somehow I see evaluation changed.
Okay, let's try to.
f5.
I'm not sure about f5. Look, c4, pawn takes, rook to d1, and d3. Yeah.
So probably now the idea is whenever rook h8 would come, there is always king f4 coming forward. So there's.
Yes. Even now, immediately white can just play king f4, followed by f5, followed by g5, f6. Or blundering again, yeah? Yeah, knight c3. It was just a blunder. Knight c3, knight e2 check, and knight takes e1. Yeah, okay, let's show
yes.
King g5, knight takes c1, rook takes c1, d2, rook d1, c3, and the black pawns are much faster. Black pawns are just much faster.
They're just rolling forward.
Yeah, so f5 was played and rook h8. Rook h8 and king g2, and we have the same idea. So rook h4.
Rook h4 is the same idea because if you push g5, there is rook g4.
No, rook g4, king g3. So g5, rook g4, king g3.
King h3, rook g3. I have king f4. No, wait.
So king h3.
King h3. Sorry, I said king f3.
King f3. Okay, king f3, rook g3. Yeah. But if king h3, then rook g1.
Wait, there was knight f2, sorry.
Oh,
we missed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, knight f2. Knight f2, yeah.
Wait, we have moves incoming very quickly. Let's go to the current position. Rook h4 was played. G5. We might see it right now. We might see rook
g4.
Rook g4 is on the board.
So, wow.
Ooh.
Pranav is winning again.
Pranav is on the roll right now. I mean, this would be truly amazing to get to victory second time in a row, like in the. Of course, in this case, he's already a higher rated player, but again, the difference in the rating is just so small. And playing with black pieces against such a strong player, like 𝐒𝐡𝐤𝐬𝐡. I mean, it's of course
Yeah.
it's a tough challenge.
Yeah, okay, good tournament so far for Pranav, especially this game. I mean, he was worse after the opening in the middle game. I mean, then he managed to find the good moves, and yeah, he's victorious in then this game. So, well,
And
yeah.
we see that Eduardo is trying to find a way, but probably now it's the moment where we realize Rook King H3 is not working, Knight F2, and King F3. I believe it's just Rook
Rook
G3,
G3 check.
King E2,
King
and then
E2.
Knight C3. No.
Well, here probably many moves are.
Even Rook G2, King F3 is not possible. Rook F. No, I thought it's checkmate.
Yeah, it's the same. No, actually, this variation is not bad. Let's say there is some C4. I believe
you
this-
just have to-
this is not winning. Yeah, no, it's not. I'm just no. I thought the king is too far. Okay, Rook F1 first. Yeah, Rook F1 first, and then King G1, and that's just winning. Yeah, Rook F1 wins here. Okay, Rook G4. White is thinking, but
Not much time. 18 seconds. He has to make a decision. He has to make a move. He's so nervous, and he's going.
to H3.
Wait, King H3, just Knight F2.
Oh,
Knight
what a
F2.
blunder! What a
Game
blunder.
over. Resignation. It was a blunder.
Yeah, it was just a blunder. Of course, you don't.
Probably he couldn't find a better way, and he just. Oh my God! What a game! Incredible. Oh, absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, Pranav is
Wow.
wow, 2 out of 2. Just amazing start.
Just crushing. I mean, yesterday's game was impressive, but today I don't think it's less impressive. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
even probably more creative what he has done, and also he was slightly worse in the position, and also look at his body language after winning 2 games in a row. He's just fully calm, like it's a normal
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
But such a strong event, 2 out of 2. I mean, I don't know how many players we will have with 2 out of 2 I mean, probably he and Motilov for sure, and then we
Yeah,
will
by
see
the
who
way,
else.
Motilov,
Yeah, let's go
yeah.
to Motilov again.
Okay, he won the pawn. He's 2 pawns up now. He's 2 pawns up, and it's just winning. Okay, I mean, this is exactly the position that we discussed. No counter chances for white, no counterplay, nothing, and white here decided just to give up the pawn and to activate the rook. But okay, this just position is so lost. Yeah, so Motilov is winning. He will score another point.
Yes,
It's
I
just
mean,
2 pawns down. No. It's
this is
just
just
no hopes. And let's go to board number 4. To board number 4, the game between
Yes, let's
Zemlyansky
go
and
there.
Suleymanli. Because here black managed to win a pawn. The b5, a b5, queen b5, bishop is c4. So d5 pawn was lost, but maybe it's not in a good scenario. Black won this pawn because white got some pressure on the d file. The knight comes to d3 in a very good square. We're targeting everything. Yeah. So probably black didn't play the best plan, or the best, let's say,
yeah, not in the best. So.
way of winning this pawn. Okay, if somehow black manages the knight to maneuver the knight to d3, of course, I mean black is just winning. Let's say knight to c6, or rook d8. Now white to play. Yeah, let's say knight to c6, change their queens, knight d5, knight d3. But I don't believe this is realistic.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like this.
Yeah. So rook to b6, yeah? Rook to b6,
Okay, looks logical, putting more pressure. Also bishop on g6, there is some x-ray.
Yeah. There is no d5. Oh, and black is down to seconds.
Wow.
This is also an important...
It's like a saying, you know, time is also a piece, yeah?
time is also exactly, and this is exactly the case.
Wow, 12 seconds.
And queen c7 played. Okay, everything is under control. I mean, everything is protected. White can improve the position by playing queen d4 here, by the way. king d4, and king d4, queen d4 is
Oh.
no, knight b3,
Knight
queen
b3.
c4. And then the rook hangs. Yeah. So rook is hanging.
Ah, that's a problem.
Rook is
of course.
hanging.
Gonna
So probably white should maybe rook a6. Rook a6. Now rook is no longer under attack.
And now this queen d4 is a threat.
Yes. Also rook a7 is a threat. Yeah.
How to proceed?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Maybe knight c6, then pawn c4 is hanging.
Yeah, somehow the knight is trapped on the edge of the board.
And we have, let's move just
Let's go.
very close to board number 2 because both players under 1 minute.
Let's go there.
So here in the game of Chaparinov, Muradli, so it's just an equal end game, yeah, from the position with
What
the pawn
happened?
up.
Yeah, it was.
From the position with the pawn, okay, we can show here, right here, so a couple of moves before, yeah, it was a
It looked at least
G5.
promising.
Queen to f4, yeah, so, okay. So now white is up a pawn, but yeah, this maneuver actually that we discussed, this knight g6. And black is very active. Black is playing for a win. Black just went out from repetition. Okay, this is probably some problems with transmission. Okay, this, yeah, black is pawn up. Black is pawn up here.
Wait, what is going on? Just an extra h pawn?
Yes.
And it's actually black right now who's playing for a victory, not white.
Yeah.
Okay, the move were played, and okay, it shows there is no time on the clock, but the moves were played. Let me try to see. And while we were discussing that game, I just wanted to double check and see. And by the way, the last board with 1 point, it's 𝐤𝐤𝐻's board. So it's only 𝐤𝐤𝐻 who has the last 1 point.
And
so I just
this
wanted
is the
to
position,
highlight. Let's maybe just go there, yeah.
So
we have, by the way, the camera of it, so it's now very nice. So we can see both players.
yeah. Okay, white is up a pawn, but black is very active, but and also one more important thing, not so much material on left. I mean, just if black managed to change the pawns with g4, then okay, it's probably draw. It's probably enough compensation for draw. Okay, good defense for 𝐤𝐤𝐻.
I mean, this is truly amazing. Starting at the bottom seed, so they went winning the first round against strong grandmaster, experienced grandmaster. Now the second round, defending this end game. Of course, anything can still happen, but with this time on the clock and with this position, it looks like it's possible. Also, bishop, having the bishop, I think, also very important. At some moment, it will be able to stop that passer on the a file. So yeah, and we see it. Yeah. Or it's not a way to go forward. But what about the game of Motilov? Maybe just one more.
Yeah, Motilov is just winning. Is just winning. It's I mean no. Okay, white is trying to create some counterplay with king to g5. And then we have this typical idea. Look, just a small demonstration. Like c3, king g5, c2, king takes g6, and h4. This typical idea. I mean, no more. This umbrella, no more this cover on the g file, and just resign it. So taking the pawn rook g1, g4, h3, and yeah, this is actually the counterplay with king g5 gives nothing. There's this in h4, and it's game over.
Yeah. So.
Of course, it's an uneasy idea. It's at the level of let's say candidate master,
not such a difficult one. Also, with this material, I think whenever there is some big imbalances, it's much more difficult to find it. But now with rooks on the board and 2 extra pawns, this is just so much easier, and also with a time advantage. But probably let's head back to the second board or fourth board. What do you think?
Yeah,
because both players are.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to board number 4 because.
Let's go there.
Okay, so what happened here? Wait, 1 second.
Wait, just a moment ago we were here.
Rook b1. Okay, logical move. And rook to b4, once again, rook c5. Everything is going fine. Rook a6, knight c6.
Everything is on the
And rook b6.
So last move was a mistake. I mean, not a mistake, even a blunder. Looking at the relation bar, but maybe there's
Knight b8.
Oh, wait, knight b8.
Knight b8, winning the
How do you
exchange.
defend both rooks?
And he did fine. Look, knight b8 is on the board. Knight b8 is on the
Oh
board.
my god! And I think right now E1 is in full shock. Look at his body language. I mean, he's in shock that he missed it. Knight g3 was played.
Knight g3, and now black takes the exchange, and black is exchange and pawn up. Normally this should be more than enough to win the game.
Of course, there is still some process of converting, but I don't think it's a problem for such a top level. And one more time, is there any compensation? Is there any initiative which white can
Well,
get?
white can try with h4, h5, I know, bringing the bishop to g4. There are some, well, let's say, small issues, yeah, I mean, like rook on the 7th rank, I don't know, bishop g4 or h4, h5, yeah, h4, h5 probably this is the, and he did play h4, and okay, let's say a move like king h8, and if h5, bishop h7.
To make it safe.
Yeah, exactly. So king is on the black square. Nobody can attack the king. Rook a7, okay, queen c5, changing the queens. No, it's just hopeless.
Oh, this is crazy. I mean, we had like peaceful game. Of course, it was very complicated, but I think it highlights the time control, which is really exciting here in Fujairah, because, you know, if there was extra 30 minutes after move 40, I don't think we would see this blunder coming. But this is just the way players are using the time. The time usage is definitely time management, very important. And he goes for h5.
No, this is a not okay.
Not solid move.
Of course, absolutely. I mean, just move the king, move the bishop. I mean, just remove. Don't give any chances. So imagine here the knight on g5, yeah. So and the position is completely different.
Yeah, maybe just some removing the bishop from it too, like bishop f1, knight e2, knight f4.
Yeah, exactly. And
oh, okay, he's going
for
the c4 pawn.
For the c4 pawn, okay, yeah. Queen to g3, knight to e3. Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe one day white can play g4. Okay, it's probably not here. Not
maybe dream.
Dreaming about. Yeah.
But
okay, let's go just very quickly to board number 2.
Absolutely, let's go there.
Because it was an end game, pawn end game. Oh, not yet, knight end game. Yeah, but yeah. So here probably white is holding the position. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like there is no entry squares. Yeah, for the king, and the problem is that, of course, that how do you defend the pawn h5? King is always fixed to it, and you have to always be ready for knight a7, knight d4, attacking the b5, f5 pawn. So it looks just going to be a waiting game. One knight is attacking the pawn, the other is defending. Like right now, knight is attacking the pawn before, the other is defending.
Yeah, good chances for Ivan Chaparinov to hold this endgame. Yeah, so we have the board number 4. Yeah, the most interesting.
Yeah, let's go there.
Let's go there. Yeah.
And so that means if we will have draw, if Chaparinov defends on the second board, if it finishes in the draw, and we will have Motilov who wins. So we already had Pranav who won. And if Suleimani will win, it will mean there will be only 3 players out of 44 in the Superstar tournaments with a perfect score after 2 rounds, which I believe in the usual open tournament is not so often a case. I mean, usually the players winning one game after another, so especially at the very top, but this shows how incredibly strong the tournament is, and every round is such a tough challenge.
Yeah, but hardly we can call this an open tournament, yeah, because I would call it like a long close tournament, yeah. So it's like so many good players. I mean, it's only 42 participants, 42 players. I mean, and yeah, each of them they are strong grandmasters. I mean, wow, never seen before. Yeah, such event, yeah.
Absolutely, and just to highlight maybe one more time, there is not only Superstar tournaments here happening at Fujairah, so anyone can play here. It doesn't matter whatever rating you have, you will be always belonging to some tournament, because lower rated players but still very strong Masters tournament, there are so many top players as well there. Also, we have open tournaments for everyone. I think it's under around 2200. So all the children and lower rated players are playing there. I would be able to play there. So yeah, absolutely great atmosphere here. Also, the club has been just recently renovated. I mean, so to say, opening of the club.
Well, actually, it was, sorry to interrupt you, it was
Yes.
not renovated, it's just a new club.
New club,
Yeah,
yes.
just they finished the construction just a couple of months ago, so it's
Amazing.
completely new club, a new project from the government of Fujairah. So just amazing, building. I mean, conditions here we have.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And also this, I absolutely love the building because, you know, earlier, probably my favorite chess club would be Sharjah Chess Club. Very nice building and everything inside it, but now I don't know what to say because I see this beautiful, I don't know if it's a rook or a queen. So when you're entering the chess club, dear viewers, there is, in the middle of the chess club, there is like a...
I believe a queen, but I'm
queen.
not sure about, yeah.
Yes.
It's a black queen, yeah?
It's a big piece, and I'm not sure how tall is it, because in St. Louis there is also a queen, but then maybe this one is even taller. Who knows? But okay, let's get back to chess.
Yeah, so draw on board number 2, and here we have, it's winning, yeah. So Suleiman Ali is winning with Zemlansky one. So what actually, white took this pawn, and after the move d5, you cannot move the bishop. Yeah, you can move the bishop on d4 and you lose the rook. And you lose the rook. So queen d4 was like a...
The final drag.
Yeah, I don't know, like a... But rook a4, yeah, now everything is under attack.
So you cannot
Bishop,
play rook
rook.
b4, you cannot...
I know, knight e3, yeah, still you protect everything.
But now queen c7?
Queen to c7.
Or it doesn't make sense?
No, it's just a good move, very good move. Yeah, white is forced to take on g6 now.
Yeah, and then
King
just...
g... and I cannot take on d5 because... No, actually, like, because of check down.
On
Knight f1. Maybe it's not so easy, yeah? What... hang on, the queen is under attack.
Yeah,
I just...
I thought there was a checkmate.
Okay, yeah, okay. So white, so then, okay, if taking with the knight, then probably, then the bishop hangs.
Yeah, but
No, it's just losing. So this is the current situation. Knight e3 and rook c8. Not queen c7, but rook c8. And rook c8, and what about rook takes g6? Knight takes d5, rook c4, yeah? That's easy.
Yes.
Rook takes g6 looks like only move here. I mean, only try. But rook takes g6, queen takes d4, intermezzo. So knight takes d5.
Okay, he's trying, but it's just this, as you were mentioning, like desperado,
Yeah, rook takes c4 and okay, just rook up.
No, but this is completely heartbreaking for white, for Ivan in this game. I mean, yeah, truly shocking. Also looking at him, at his body language, I mean, he was not expecting it at all. It was completely normal game. Of course, it was very complex. Position was there was always a pressure, but to blunder just like that,
yeah,
it's tough. It's something you have to recover from. I don't know. There will be 2 rounds tomorrow. And sometimes whenever you lose such a game, you might continue this losing streak. So that's good for some players who played the draw today, just to stop the bleeding, just to come tomorrow refreshed for a double round day. But
so
yeah.
queen e5 is trying to find some chances, but okay, rook c6, just changing, I mean, trying to change the active rook. No, no chances here. Take knight e7. I was trying, but rook f6. Okay, so meanwhile we have draw in most of the games.
Yeah, I see that there are not so many games finished.
Yes, Salem made a draw with bishop. He managed to defend the position. Yeah, it was not easy, but
can you click? Yeah, sorry.
Yes. So
so what about? Maybe Zhu Jiner?
Yes.
Just to see what is going on there. How is she defending?
She's defending like a lioness. And what is the position?
But there is an extra pawn. But also there is a pawn. Oh wait a second. Maybe it's just easy way just to come with a king to g3, like rook g1, king g3. And
Yeah,
just
but white black is not in time.
not in time.
Not in time. Yeah, it's just
Okay,
one tempo missing. So rook
yes.
j8, a5, king g3, and it's promoting the check. This is also a problem. Yeah, takes a7. If I would play here the move h2, like h4, h2, yeah, would be draw. But this one is lost.
Yeah.
Queen 8. Yeah. So in the game, black played the move rook to e1.
So now probably.
Yeah, king g3. Okay, I mean it's a draw because to win you need the help of the rook. Yeah, and when you bring the rook, I mean only try to help, then I can sacrifice the rook for the pawn, take another pawn, and then it will be easy draw.
Maybe there could be just thousands of checks basically. Now maybe rook a1, king has to go back to the b file. Rook b1 check again, probably king a6.
Yeah, and then yeah, this is what actually happening. So the most important thing here is not to play the move h3.
Yeah.
That will be just losing. So you need to keep this pawn and to sacrifice the rook for the pawn in a very, I mean in a.
So maybe now rook b1, king a6.
No, I mean it's easy basically. You just wait for white to. Okay, you cannot stop the move like pawn a7, king a8.
Yeah.
You cannot stop and then just keep waiting with the rook on b1.
Yeah.
And
king cannot escape.
Yeah, exactly. And you need a rook. You need a rook, and when you bring your rook, then g2 pawn is lost. So it's just very simple. You don't need to do here anything special. Just wait. Your white managed to put the pawn on a7, and then.
But I think maybe it's important because rook c4 could be a move. If king takes on g2, rook h4, you can.
Oh yeah, that one is losing. Yeah. So if rook c4, you just. Okay, first of all,
you just keep calm.
You just keep calm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is the method.
Oh, by the way, did we have a result or there was some? No results
in the game
yet.
of 𝐒𝐚𝐬𝐤 and Black won the game.
Oh.
Black won the game.
It was the board number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see them signing the score sheets now. Yeah. Yeah, what a heartbreak for White in this case. I mean, he was holding such a. I mean, he was not even holding. I mean, he was having such a good position, and it was, by the way, Black who was always in the time trouble. So we have one more leader, Pranav, and Suleimanli. Yes.
And Motilov potentially if he wins the game. Okay, he's very close to convert 2 pawns up and the rooks on game. I mean, it's just so simple. I mean, you don't need to do anything special. Just
matter of time, basically.
Yeah. Just bring the king, rook c1, and I mean, there is no counterplay for white. King g5 is always losing.
Yeah, you can always go for the g3 pawn, right? Or
no. In king g5, I just showed the idea.
This h4.
Yeah. Just one more time. This h4 and.
This is great.
Yeah. Okay, so what else do we have in the leaders group? So Motilov and against Mohamed and Liu Shanglei against Jujinir. So yeah, and Black is actually holding. Black is holding. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean there is nothing.
No, absolutely, it's absolutely.
Only if king could have a file close to a file, like to go outside of the board to help the pawn promoting.
Yeah.
But of course it's not legal.
So which letter is before A? No,
like if we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there would be 0, you know, but with alphabet, I mean Z.
By the way, look at this very concrete move. Now you can take the pawn because the king is in front of the pawn. If a6,
she calculated.
rook g2, king g2, white promotes with check. Just a small demonstration. You promote with check, but this is still a draw. Okay, this is the position, not a big surprise. I mean, everyone knows this is a draw. So the king is too far. To win the game, you need the king to be on d4. So actually, it's just a tempo missing. So no, with the king on d4, you win this position. With the king on b6, of course, it's easy draw. So with the king on d4,
such a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, very good. I mean, yeah, rook takes g2, everything
this
on the
is
board.
what we have. Yes, we
And-
will have a handshake pretty soon.
Yeah, and so just they want to, yeah,
Yeah, he's promoting. So they just want
to complete, yeah,
to complete. Yes. I think
all
maybe
the theoretical
trading.
moves, all the position.
Yeah, probably just. Okay, he will just probably look for a moment. Okay, he's somehow shaking his head.
Yeah, no, I don't believe. Yeah,
He didn't really say what was happening.
okay, probably some checks before accepting the draw, and yeah, so only Motilov is playing, by the way, and now we have some games down on board 18 and.
Yeah, but I
so-
think for us the most important are the top boards. Yeah, and who will be the leader tomorrow coming into the third round?
So now this is exactly time to start thinking, yeah, for white. May.
So not 20 moves before,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
now.
Now it's a very important moment. So
Okay, maybe I
let's-
just go back quickly to Motilov.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's converting. He's converting. Okay, actually, this position is tricky. If you push c2, this might be a draw.
Oh,
This might be a draw. It's not. Look. So just king g2 and c2. Yeah.
I think we will have handshake now on the board of 𝐤𝐤𝐤, by the way, because he played some king move, trade of the queens on the board, and we see it now in the camera. On the camera, handshake is there, the draw. Amazing performance so far by 𝐤𝐤𝐤 in the super tournament. Truly exciting what she has done first round, beating such a strong player. Now playing a draw as a lowest seed in the event. I mean, showing how strong she is, and yeah, so many also strong Chinese players and female players as well. So yeah, let's go back probably to Motilov. I think.
Yeah, and here, just for our viewers, this
Yes.
is very instructive position. So by mistake, if you play the move c2, thinking that, okay, the game is over, and this is actually a draw, you miss the win. Okay, just a demonstration here, yeah? So c2, this is a theoretical draw, because you cannot make progress, yeah?
So now.
Yeah, if you come close to the king, I'll just give you, to the pawn, I'll just give you hundreds checks. And here you cannot create a second passed pawn. Okay, even if you manage to play g4, like changing the pawns, if you have h pawn or g pawns, it doesn't change anything. So pawn h3, king h2, king hides to h2, and this is draw. Okay, of course, it's, yeah, I mean, here you need the king on c2, then you free the rook, and you just convert, you just promote the pawn. So do not play c2, this is very important. Okay, king d4, I mean, rook c6, and here again, c2 is just a draw. So,
You just bring your king.
yeah, king, bring your king, even if you lose the pawn g.
And then
doesn't
just the
matter.
bridge, yeah?
And that's just the bridge, correct. Okay, very good. And now, rook, I don't know, any move, let's say to d1, to b1, e1, yeah.
Maybe e1 to fight the.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, e1, and then you just breach the rook. I mean, you put the rook on the fourth, and you push the pawn, and you win this position. So, yeah, of course, this is well known. I mean, king d4, and white is thinking, but no hopes here.
Yeah, no hopes. And one more time, we had so many these clashes of generations, and many times it's so tough for more experienced players to play against the younger generations because of the new approaches they have. But here in the tournament, we see Motilov beating one after another.
Yeah. So
this is
Mohamed Sina, he is 15, Motilov is 47, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. So almost 5 times more.
46, I'm sorry, 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so this is why we love chess, because comparing to other sports, imagine another sports like in table tennis or tennis, and like a 40 years old, 46 years old player or could compete with 15 years old. Okay, so rook d4, king e4. Okay, king e3 is winning as well.
And you know, the most important is no matter the age, no matter how many kilograms you weigh, you know, anyone can play chess, yeah, and also people with a special needs, yeah. So literally everyone can play chess. I've been, by the way, I've been participating in the European Championship, and I played against the woman who had some issues with the vision. And it was impressive that she was playing so great, even though she couldn't really see the board, and she had this board. So it's truly special how chess is uniting all of us, no matter the age, no matter the size.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, to see the board, you don't need even to the board.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just analyze all the moves in your head, in your mind. I mean, it's
Just imagine them.
just imagine, exactly. So yeah, so King C2,
We
Rook
have
G8,
exactly
Rook
what
D8.
you
Yeah, okay, it's
Yeah, similar.
nothing special on this. Rook takes G6, Rook D5, and then bridge. Yeah, King hides on D2, and Black just promotes the pawn. So probably soon we'll see a resignation.
Yes, exactly. So,
Okay, I believe that at the end of the game, Mohamed Sina should say something like, "Thank you, master, for a lesson." That would be nice. I mean, for a young player, 15 years old, who got a lesson in the Rook endgame. By the way, you know, sometimes you lose such a game, but it gives you much more than an easy win. Yeah, it's a lesson for you. Probably you can make the conclusion you need to study more the end games. I mean, you need to pay attention to other things, not only the openings, yeah, to the strategical part of the game. Yeah, and good performance for Motolev, for Alexander. He's a good
the
friend of
handshake,
mine.
the handshake is there. We have the game finished. It's not the final game overall, but the final game to determine the leaders right now. Because now we have 3 leaders with a perfect score. It's Suleiman Lee, who surprisingly won after the blunder. It is Pranav, who played a brilliant game against 𝐇𝐤𝐬𝐤, and it's Motilov, who is also scoring 2 victories in a row. I mean, a truly remarkable performance so far. I mean, Viral, what is your take from today's round?
Well, honestly, I'm glad for Alexander, once again for Alexander Motilov, because he is my generation. And usually I'm always happy when a player from my generation wins the tournament. By the way, Vasily made a draw. Okay, but I believe that he will come back. So, and also, actually, for me, like this young generation, I don't know them very well, yeah, and I'm surprised they play. I mean, they are holding the position, yeah. So, what I want to say that they don't have like the big breakdowns, yeah. They are controlling the games, even some mistakes, even they play some inaccuracies. They come back, they continue the game, they are fighting. And this is probably their advantage, the advantage of the youth. Yeah, but yeah, Motilov is just amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much, Viral, also for joining me today. And also, I have a final question to you. Will you be joining me tomorrow?
Well, I hope so. I would love to, because yeah, it's following the games. I mean, it also helps me to improve as a player, as a coach, and well, I hope my small variations, some small tricks are not like so stupid.
No, they're just amazing. Some of the deep lines. I mean, I took a lot of this commentary with you, also myself. I learned a lot. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
this.
Angelica, for inviting me here in studios, and let's hope to continue tomorrow.
Of course. But dear viewers, tomorrow there is a change, because we always had rounds at 5 p.m. local time, but tomorrow the 3rd round will take place at 10 a.m. in the morning local time. So it is going to be 8 a.m. CET if you're watching from the Europe, and also other times, so you have to check with that. So we're starting so much early because we have double round tomorrow. So stay tuned for more actions, because the Superstar tournament is just heating up for tomorrow. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed. You had a great time here with us from Fujairah, and we are going to see you tomorrow. But it's going to be just one double round. After that, everything will start from the 5 p.m. local time. See you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
يا جماعة الحدث اللي اليوم مجتمعين علشانه وايد مهم. جاي اخبركم انه صار جاهز.
يهد تعالوا يهد.
جهاد جهاد.
تعالوا يهد.
ابوي انزل والمبنى جهز. المبنى جهز. تعالوا يا شباب. جهاد.
يلا كابتن.
يلا وراكم جايين توكل على الله.
ما شاء الله المبنى حلو، المبنى جميل.
يا جماعة الحدث اللي اليوم مجتمعين علشانه وايد مهم. جاي اخبركم انه صار جاهز.
يهد تعالوا يهد.
جهاد جهاد.
تعالوا يهد.
ابوي انزل والمبنى جهز. المبنى جهز. تعالوا يا شباب. جهاد.
يلا كابتن.
يلا وراكم جايين توكل على الله.
ما شاء الله المبنى حلو، المبنى جميل.